following on TikTok. I found that out the other day.
That I had 40.
Yeah, I saw it. Like one of your videos came up. I just went to the page, and one of your videos had like 2 of your videos had like 1 million views.
Yeah, they.
We all good? We got it? Is there a red light on that? Yeah, there is. What's up, everybody? We're back. What's up,
Nice.
brother?
What's up? Cheers.
Cheers, man. Thanks for being back.
Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for having me.
I got 4 of them. I don't know the other ones are.
Oh, these are Joe Show. Right?
Yeah, my sister got those for me.
Oh, that's cool.
Thanks, Caroline.
Dude, that's awesome. I love this setup. It just feels so professional, you know?
It's not at all. I try to be.
That's what you think, dog. But, like, look at this.
I know.
You got the camera. I got the mic. I remember you were setting this up 2 years ago or something.
Mm-hmm. It's probably about a little over 2 years ago. Probably was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What is your name? Do you remember where you signed it?
I don't know. I probably was one of those guys who didn't sign it. I don't remember signing it. Maybe it faded so long ago.
Who's that? That's Beerly. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea when it was.
I'll have to sign it again.
Welcome back, dude.
Thanks. No, super happy to be here. We were talking about TikTok earlier. 40,000 followers at Chammy
Chammy the Mutt.
You know how that happened?
Huh.
I got on TikTok early.
You were on it earlier. I remember you were making them at Balto.
Yeah. I started making TikToks at Balto.
I refused to get on the app forever. I was so anti it.
Everybody was. How did I not double down?
Dude, yeah, seriously.
I think that's one of my first multi-million-dollar mistakes.
Not doubling down on TikTok?
Yeah, that
Why?
early. Bro, 2019, all I had to do was continue to post pictures of Chammy or videos of Chammy continuously. By now, I mean, I had already gone viral. So I went viral a couple times, and that's how I got 40,000 followers. I was like, oh, this is kind of addicting. And then I just kind of quit. But that number still stands out to, like, brands. And so since I've had 2 brand deals.
I've seen that.
With Chammy.
You just posted about one of them.
Yeah. Atlas Pet Company.
Yeah.
Shout out. They're sick.
Atlas Pet Company?
Yeah.
What is that?
They're the Arc'teryx for dogs.
Oh, no way.
That's how.
The best dog you can buy. Oh, I've seen this shit.
Dude, look at that.
Oh, my God, it's GSP. Karen, look at that. Karen, you probably can't see it. It's a GSP. My sister's GSP.
Nice. Yeah, beautiful dogs. Looks like it's in. Yeah, just awesome. Awesome gear. Anyway, so this, I almost feel like a fraud because those 40,000 followers.
God damn, $80 for a leash.
Yeah.
Is that reasonable? Is that expensive?
No, it's super expensive. But that leash has a lifetime warranty on it. And
I mean, it looks like it could hold me up.
Yeah. I mean, it's made in Colorado. They have like a small manufacturing facility there.
Mm-hmm.
Super proud that they use like all the best materials and all the best things. And it's like if your dog chews through it, they'll send you a new one.
Damn.
So it's like
yeah, it's worth
it's $75, but
You're right.
I mean, 2 for 1 kind of thing.
Right. That's how. In so many weird instances, I bring up Cutco. I work for Cutco. I sold the knives. Pyramid scheme, all that, whatever. The knives are kick ass, dude. Yeah. I've had my set since, when was that? Senior year of high school. I've never had them sharpened, and they are still sharper than anything I've ever used. Like, it is, It is unbelievable. And they got that same shit. Like, if you go in there and just snap one for the fun of it, I can send it to them. They'll send me a brand new one for free.
Yeah.
And each knife is like fucking $100 or something like that. It's ridiculous.
That's like the I remember you always got to have one kid in your neighborhood who's
you always know somebody
door
that
to
did
door
it.
fiend.
I sold a lot of it.
Yeah. Dude, and you make money.
Yeah,
like
I made a lot of money.
It's not a lie. Like that money you are making money. It is your money at the end of the day.
And like you call it a scam or whatever, but obviously like they're like first day, they're like call all your friends' parents. Yeah. So like already bad juju off the bat. But like half the parents I called that were like, yeah, I'll do a demo with you or whatever. Of that half, they were like, fuck the demo. I already own Cutco. Just bring the catalog over. I've been waiting to buy more.
Yeah.
And like, they were ready for more stuff.
I don't know, like Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah, exactly. Just bring over the order form. I'm ready to go.
I already know yeah, exactly. So I don't know. That's why I actually don't think Cutco is entirely a scam.
Yeah.
Because their product is quality, or at least I think.
Their business model is a scam. Yeah.
But it is kind of MLM-y.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Big time.
Atlas Petco, they reached out when I was like going out hard, and that's ever since like Chammy the Mutt has been the brand, and I don't get actually paid. I get paid through product, and so I'm like low level, but I don't know. It's still cool.
That's like the intro level to influencer marketing.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
I don't complain. The other day I got like $300 for all those posts I made. It was like $300 worth of gear.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, it's like 3 things, but
right. Still, I mean, that just saved you $300.
Yeah, it's 3. I get the best product.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I would spend $300 on anyway.
That's how. In a perfect world, if I were to ever do this full time, like I have a list of like sponsors that I think would be sweet,
dude.
And it's all shit I already used that I would want.
I want to talk about that because I also have a podcast.
Yes, you do. Horse People Podcast.
Yeah, the Horse People Podcast, and I've been thinking a lot about exactly that. I don't know what issue you're running into. For me, it's a lot of distribution. Yeah. Distribution is impossible.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get people to listen to your podcast.
Especially if it's long form.
If it's long form, if they don't know you, what you're trying to do is maybe like a little more general stuff.
Yours is way more niche than mine.
Mine's a lot more niche, but it's still really hard.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Like, how are you approaching that conversation? I guess is what I'm.
I mean, right now you hit the ground running. Props to you. You hit the ground running because you're at like what 30 or 40 episodes now.
Yeah, 30, 32, 31 episodes. 30.
Horse People Podcast. Check it out. Really good interview. You have really interesting people on as well.
Yeah, I've been able to.
How do you find them? Like, is this just like an internal network or like people you've been following or what?
A little bit of all of it. Some people I've just cold DM'd on Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, plenty of them. Others I get connected to through, friends of the pod.
Sure. Which the Polo Association's helped out with that.
Polo people, Equine Network, Horses for Mental Health. They're all like really great partners, I guess. And so they connect me to people. I was like, who should I talk to?
To your question, I don't know. Like, that's why I pay a homie in Pakistan. He's my brother. We call each other brother.
Really?
Yeah.
Brother.
Yeah, his name's Malik. It's so crazy because I talk to him on WhatsApp, and I only use WhatsApp to talk to him.
Oh, really?
So I guess on WhatsApp, you can, like, edit what your name is or something.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever he texts me, he's like, brother, are there new episodes ready? His thing is life has no undo option. And I'm like, I got my man. Like, this is my guy.
Yeah, your little bio on WhatsApp.
And every time it pops up, it says, life has no undo option. Brother, are there new episodes ready? I'm like, this guy's a grinder. He is ready.
Dude, that's sick.
But, like, I've been doing that on TikTok. And, like, outside of, like, organic, I was thinking about that the other day, like, ads and stuff. I did one sponsored post on Instagram one time. Didn't care for it. It was interesting to see the insights and, like, the data and stuff. But, like, I felt weird advertising a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
That's just not really the route I want to take because I want to go organic and, like, word of mouth. But exactly to your point, it's like if only, like, 20 people listen to everything, I hope, like, all I could hope for that was all 20 people share it with 20 more people. Like, that's all I can really hope for.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know that. And I know that there's like, it's like content. But to your point, like, if it's so broad and like people like this could go for 2 hours and like just to have some random person be like, yeah, go listen to this random kid's 2-hour podcast is just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think it's an interesting conversation. How do you think of your podcast right now? Like, what's your strategy? Do you have a thought, like a strategy?
For what?
How you're gonna like market it to people? Like, what's the value that you bring to brands? What's their audience? Like, what kind of people are you trying to reach? I
would like to go the route of like self-development and like improvement for our generation and like my brother's generation.
Yeah.
Because I feel like our generation, and my brother's 19, so I guess he's Gen Z.
Yeah.
And that's like the transition period of generations of like the typical college education path to like the 9-to-5 workforce is kind of going to be fading out, and like more people are going to be doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And like, especially this influencer stuff, like it's really not easy, but it's very common for like micro influencers and stuff. Yeah. And I'd really like to go the development. I don't know if you say path or whatever, but like helping people, like everyone has their own thing. Like everyone is their own niche. And like,
yeah. Everybody's their own unique. Exactly. Yeah. I couldn't agree more.
Your interest in like tech and ag and like the horse community, like there, that in itself is a very specific niche and a very unique niche.
Yeah.
And I feel like that right there, people should and can take more advantage of going forward.
Yes.
And like my whole thing with this is like everyone has a story. You can learn something from everybody.
Yeah. And
I kind of want that to be, I would like people to pick up on that.
Dude, what I love about the Joe Show is it's like normal people talking to normal people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
I think oftentimes a lot of these podcasts, you're always getting, you can only talk to people who have the big followings or who have the distribution, because that's who you want as a host or as a guest.
You want the person on that has 100,000 followers,
exactly,
because whatever
should, I guess, help you too, right?
Right.
Indirectly, like, oh, they posted me on their channel or whatever. And so that's what I love about the Joe Show. It's not that. I think you just like talk to people who you fucking find interesting.
Yeah. It's exactly.
And so it's like So the way I think about it, and I don't know how this resonated, is that like it's just normal people talking to normal people.
Because everyone's got something.
Yeah.
And I think everyone. I don't mean it in a demeaning way. It's not like not. Everyone is interesting in their own aspect. And like if you sit down and talk to someone for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, you're going to gain some serious insight into something, and you're going to learn something from them.
Dude, actually, that's another question I had for you that I had thought about. I went on a run before this to try to think about what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And my question was basically like, I forgot my question.
We'll come back to it. Speak to the Horse People podcast more. What was because on the last episode that you were on, we talked about how we should start a podcast. We should totally start a podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember what I was gonna say.
Sure.
So quick, 30 seconds.
Go.
Is all that. I mean, I'm just repeating myself, but basically, every single podcast out there is like talking to millionaires, talking to successful people, talking to this, talking to like. I like love the thought of just like, oh, you know what, like. How's this guy doing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's why I just like having my friends in here.
Yeah. So I think you're onto something, and I love that it's back.
Thank you.
That's all that to say.
It's good to be back.
Yeah,
it's fun to do.
It's so fun.
Obviously, you probably know the struggle of scheduling and actually blocking out time to do it, let alone your own schedule with someone else's schedule.
Yeah. And
like that's half a battle, but I'm really trying to get back into it. It's so fucking first world problems to have to schedule this, but like it is like, and then everything that comes with it, editing it, uploading it. Cause like when I'm uploading it, it's like, I mean, the video file that I'm uploading to YouTube is like 20 gigs.
Oh shit.
And like, this is just a Mac. Like it's not a video editing computer. So like when I'm uploading it, it's taking so much out of my computer that I cannot use my computer. So, like, I can't just, like, upload it in the background at work because my computer just doesn't work for anything else. Yeah. And it'll take, like, 3 hours for it to upload. It's, like, whatever. Again, first world problems.
Whatever. Yeah. Sounds like that'll be your next investment. Yeah. Use that sponsor money to get a new laptop.
If I would ever get a sponsor money, I've actually, like, had serious thoughts about, like, what office space I could rent out.
Oh, really?
For, like, $600 a month or something.
Dude. So two thoughts just came to mind. I think you could totally sponsor. You could actually probably get sponsored for about $1,500 tomorrow.
How?
I think what you do is you sell your like the back of your laptop or something like
as ad space,
like as an ad space. Yeah, or something like that. And you could talk about,
or like instead of this, have like a
whatever
Mike Duffy's logo or whatever the hell, something like that.
I think you could easily sell $1,500 worth of ad space today with the following you have, even if it's small, because it's niche.
True.
And I bet most of the people that listen to your pod are in St. Louis. I think that's another niche you should play into. Actually, is like the St. Louis scene.
It big time is.
Like you should try to get one of them MLS guys, one of the St. Louis City guys.
That's what my buddy Andy that was on 2 episodes ago. Andy Hoover, you've met him. You've met him.
Yeah, I've met him.
He has a soccer podcast. Him and all his buddies do a soccer podcast, and they had one of the players on already.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forget the guy's name. I'm such a dick. He's a center back, I think. God, I'm so sorry.
I don't know. But it's fine.
He just had one on. I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
As someone made the point, the same thing. Like I had Veerling on. Played for the Phillies. Now he's on the Tigers.
Oh yeah,
and
I
like he's just like friend, he's just my buddy. And someone was like, okay, yeah, he's your buddy, but you had an MLB player on. And I'm like, I guess you're right. I did.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. It was
put that cool. MLB logo on.
Yeah, exactly.
Has partnered with.
Hey, Detroit Tigers, what's up?
Yeah. No, dude, I think for real. And then you can use that $1,500 to get a new laptop.
And it's a write-off.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that stuff.
That's something that, whenever, like, side hustle, all this bullshit, all that talk, the saying is you're only going to get out of it of how you treat it. So, like, if you only treat it as a side hustle, it's only ever going to be a side hustle.
Yeah.
And, like, right now, it's not even a side hustle. I'm not making money or anything.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's just something I do for fun.
It's a hobby.
Yeah. But I need to do that, is incorporate it, LLC this thing.
Yeah.
Because with the money that I spend on everything, the website, the editing subscription, the Adobe subscription, all this shit, the money that I pay that guy to edit stuff, yeah, it's minuscule. Like, it might be like $1,000 a year or something, but $2,000 a year or something, whatever it is, that is a write-off that you can take against your taxes. So it's just $2,000 less I have to pay in taxes because it's just a net loss for the business that I'm starting.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And if I buy a laptop, like right now, since real estate, I'm at 1099, like I'd have to track all my expenses and all that stuff. So if I were to I could buy a laptop today and write it off against my income this year because I need my laptop for work. It's a work expense. Mm-hmm. And same thing with this. If you use the laptop, 50% towards the podcast, like towards podcasts, you can write off 50% of the laptop for that year.
Whoa.
And if I were to just buy a laptop that I use 100% for podcasting and only podcast, I don't know how you prove all that. That's tax shit, blah, blah, blah. But you can write off 100% of it. And that gets into like business talk, and I'm not I'm not educated enough on all that shit. But
yeah, me neither. But sounds like I should do it.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a no-brainer kind of a thing.
Yeah,
because then it's like, with write-offs and all that stuff, like that's the buzzword in like entrepreneurship, blah blah blah. You always see about like cars and shit like that.
Yeah, the car that weighs over 50,000
yeah, exactly.
pounds.
But like it's to that point where like let's say you make $20,000 a year from the podcast. If you spend $20,000, if you spend 100% of that on business expenses, whatever it is, then you're not paying tax on any of it. That's the whole tax game.
God damn.
Yeah, which I'm not making any money, but if I want to take this seriously, I kind of got to get to that point.
Dude. But
I can't write off any of this. Sorry, people. Because you can only write off stuff in the year that you paid for it. So I could have only written off all of this stuff in 21, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah. You're, right now,
that's too far gone.
You're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
We better start somewhere. You know what we should do? We should group project this.
Yeah, keep going.
We should think about let's do this. Let's do it together. I have to do it too.
Yeah.
And so I won't do it if I don't have an accountability buddy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we should actually do that because that's a good way to did you
keep up with this?
Keep tabs on each other? And then that way we actually do it and within a month we'll probably be done. But
it'll also keep you account because once you do that,
and it's about to be the new year. It's a good idea.
And once you incorporate it, you start to take it seriously. Then it's like, hey, I'll text you, you know, like every other week. Did you schedule your next guest?
Yeah.
Are you actually keeping up with it?
Dude, that'd be actually, we should do that.
I like it. I love it.
That would be sick.
So, Horse People Podcast.
Horse People Pod. Yeah.
How, when you always had the thought of wanting to start a podcast, how far along the thought process was Horse People Podcast? Like, did you ever want to do some shit like this? Did you always know you wanted to really niche down like that, or what?
Geez, I don't remember.
And when did it first start? Earlier this year?
It would have started last year. I've been doing it for a year and a few months.
Okay.
It started in August of 22, for sure. Because that's when I found out that I was accepted to the Mongol Derby.
Mm-hmm.
And
Get
so
into that.
Yeah, and so when I was accepted to the Mongol Derby, my first thought was, holy shit, now I have to pay $20,000.
That's real.
And
it gets
so
real fast.
I was like, how the fuck am I going to do that? And, you know, I have the money. I could pay it, but then I'd be broke.
Right. Your account hit zero really quickly.
And so, yeah, it get to zero a lot quicker than if I didn't spend 15. So, I like brainstormed with myself, how the fuck how do I figure out a way so that it's net, like, so that I get accepted and then I have 2 years to make $20,000 of side hustle money.
Somehow you could do it for free.
So that I could, you know, this is boy math.
Right. Yeah.
For free.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
And so when I got accepted, that's what I decided to do. I said, I got to leverage an audience. I got to like do something. I got to start something. And so I think it was going to be horses because of that from the get-go. So to answer your question,
I mean, you already had the passion for it. You already knew the ins
and outs. I love horses.
Yeah.
But I only knew, and actually it's true. I think I love horses. I only knew polo really, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, I like still get confused with hunter jumpers and equestrians, and like I'm still just one of those guys. You know, I don't know what the fuck people do out there. They do so many things. Dressage. People talk about center line. I still don't know what that means. So I went out to like learn. I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna be a horse person, I gotta be a horse person.
Gotta assimilate, baby.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's what I did. That's why I started Horse People Podcast, and it's been awesome. And then when I started it, I read a stat that said the people there's like 20% of podcasts have more than 3 people or have more than 3 episodes. I don't know, something like that. Yeah,
if you make it to 10, you're in like the 1% or some shit like that.
Yeah, something like that. If you make it to 20 is what I've heard. But 10, 20, whatever. And and so I was like, okay, well, I can't quit before 20. And if I make it to 20, I'm probably too far in.
Yeah, that's my one thing that I have like in all of like my hand notes and everything that like, you know, it's like mental shit that I write down is just make it to 100.
Yeah.
Make it to 100. Make it to 50. Because if you're in that far, you're in. You're fucking in.
You're a podcaster. It becomes a habit. You have people who listen to you, who like listening to you.
Right. And imagine how much better it would be.
Yeah.
Like how much better you will be, how much better the product will be, and all that stuff.
Exactly. I still wonder, actually. So anyway, for me, that number ended up being 26. If I did 26 episodes, it would have been that I did 2 a month for a year.
That's pretty good.
And that was my goal. I was like, at the very least, I don't know when or how or what, but I'll do 26 episodes a year.
Do you think it was all of them are via Zoom, right?
Yeah, all of them are via Zoom. So it's a lot easier for me to schedule and like figure out someone's hour.
Are you glad you went that way?
I had to. I mean,
I'm assuming that most of these people are not local.
Yeah, none of them are local. Maybe 1 or 2, but no, I actually don't think any of them are. Episode 21 with her name is Renate Larson is one of my favorite episodes of all time.
Equine ethology is defined as the science of horse behavior. However, in this episode, Renate goes a level deeper to elaborate at a scientific level how the relationship between horses and humans has evolved. You'll definitely enjoy this episode if you're interested in how horses think. Why was that your favorite?
Oh, dude, she's really good. She's really good. She has an opinion. She's really smart. She's doing her PhD in equine ethology, which is
so specific.
Like where horses come from, basically. Which I think I don't know. I have to re-listen to it.
Yeah.
She like has this newsletter that's super awesome. She's cool. She's really, really dope. And I would have never gotten to meet her, talk to her, have her in my network if it wasn't for Horse People Pod. And if I quit tomorrow, like I'm grateful for that. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. That's all. Like that's of all of it. If you had one valuable connection.
No, but I think the pod is beautiful because I have 31.
Right. Exactly.
And so the more I do it, the more I get that feeling. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It like that gratefulness compounds. Like, holy shit, I'm so grateful that I know this person now.
Mm. And after you've done all that, it's like, why wouldn't I do the next one? Because who knows when we get out of the next one?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sure they love doing it.
Yeah.
Because like her, what did you just say? She's doing her master's. She's doing a thesis in it.
PhD, I think. Yeah.
For her to be able to like regurgitate all that and like basically teach someone all about it, she probably loved doing that.
Yeah, she thought it was a fun time too. I hope.
So how long was that? Hour and 12. Yeah.
Yeah, we went pretty long. Yeah, there's been others that I was like, well, this was a learning pod, but you still got to put it out there. And I think everybody, I don't know. I really like podcasting. But the other thing about podcasting too is we're not technical people.
Nope.
You understand?
Nope.
We're not software engineers. We're not great at this like corporate finance tax shit.
No.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who are these private equity types, you know, whatever, who are really good, who are really technical. And so if you're not technical, I kind of feel like you have to double down on the opposite side, which is creating content. Mm-hmm. And I'm a huge believer of creating content.
Back to the TikTok stuff.
Yeah, I mean the TikToks, Instagram, the podcast. Like I do the LinkedIn thing. I'm like a really, really tiny portion, like content creator, if you will, content producer.
Yeah. Thought leader.
Yeah, thought leader. But the whole reason I do it is because I am not technical. I have to have an edge on them, and if I'm gonna have an edge on them, it better be so far on the opposite side. That, you know what I'm saying?
The product has to be that much better because you're not an engineer.
Yeah, exactly. So like I have to have the other things.
So what's your strategy?
I don't know yet. I need to find what I'm thinking about is distribution partners. I'm also thinking that so like people who just like put me in their email blasts and stuff. Mm-hmm. I've done that before and they always get good listens. But I'd like to get it like more consistent. So my issue right now is that like if I interview Jay Hochstetler, which is, by the way, awesome interview as well. When I interviewed him, it was like a week before or a week after he had just won this big race in, I think, Illinois. Anyway, but if what was I saying?
Strategy.
Oh, dude. If I talk to Jay, I can only get on Jay's audience once. And then that's it, you know? Yeah. So like the only other way to do that is if I get Jay on again. And how do I get Jay, or in this case, harness racing, like the institution above it, the governing body, to just promote my podcast consistently, feed me guests. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Hey, talk to this person. Hey, talk to this person. Hey, we're promoting a book. Talk to this person. And just increase my listenership so that then I can leverage that with brands or, you know, like horse insurance companies. I don't know. I was just thinking about that. But people who are like dude ranches would probably be a pretty good fit for my thing.
Dude ranches.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like a dude ranch.
Yeah, where a bunch of people are living on it, working on it together.
Yeah, you go out and ride a horse and shit. Anyway, so that's my strategy right now. I don't know if that'll take too long, though. I need this to start. I kind of need to take this a lot more seriously these next few months. The Mongol Derby's coming up.
When's it? Next July, next June?
Yeah. The other thing I saw on LinkedIn that I found really intriguing was this guy who released all his episodes at once.
Whoa.
So what he did is he like took 2, 3, 4 months.
Recorded like 30 episodes or something.
Recorded like 30 episodes. And so what I'm thinking is, imagine if, actually I think I'm going to do that now that I'm regurgitating it. Imagine if Jay, JR, Kim, Renate, Justin all posted about me and my horse pod at the same time, because they're all on this season 2 version.
Season, that's interesting.
Or whatever. Yeah. I don't know, I'm just calling it that. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, I'm on this podcast, episode 22. Let me know when you get to it. Or, you know what I'm saying? And then you kind of create this like fire festival type of virality amongst your community. I don't know. So that's my thought.
To play devil's advocate.
Maybe it's totally off.
When I first started this, obviously, you know, like runner's high kind of a thing. You do 1, you want to do 5. And at one point I did like 3 or 4 in the span, or like, it was like, I did like 5 in the span of like 10 days or something. And I had no thought process of scheduling them out, you know, like once a week or 2 a week, anything like that. I just put them out as I was done. So at one point I had like 3 posted in like 4 days.
Yeah.
And I heard from people, they're like, dude, like I can't keep up with it. And I'm like, interesting. Cause to that exact thing, I'll listen to, it's cliche, but like he's an easy example, Rogan.
Yeah.
I'll listen to like, you know, like every 5 episodes of Rogan or whatever. And like I listen to one today, I'm to and from everything. But then like if I don't listen to him for a week, there's like 6 between that and the one that I'm on. So then there's like, I'm like, fuck, am I ever going to listen to these? And like, I'll eventually come back to it. But at the same time, yours is kind of different, because if you're sticking to the hour thing, that's a whole different thing, because most of Rogan's are, you know, 2.5, 3 hours. Yeah. And that's a big ask.
I've been sticking to the hour thing.
Yeah. Because that was what people were saying about that. What I was just saying is like, dude, you've putting out like, it was like constructive criticism. Yeah. They're like, dude, you're putting out like 2.5 hour episodes every other day. Like, holy shit. But it was like a positive reinforcement almost. It's like, you're doing so much already. Like, holy shit. Yeah. But I understand where you're coming from, because it's like a photo dump kind of a thing. And like, that's the whole thing with Instagram. Because if you're just behind, like, let's see, you did, the last one was October 2nd, October 1st, August 29th. And so, like, maybe, but like, or you could record them all in the span of a month and release them every other day or something. Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Because then there's still the recency bias of those, whoever you just mentioned, posting that close together. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm only like 16 episodes in, so you know more than I do. You're double far along as I am.
My 31 or your 16, actually, since yours are like basically double the length.
Sure, yeah, whatever.
But the idea with releasing them all is kind of like when Netflix releases a show.
Binge it?
Yeah. You can binge it. And so it's like, and you can kind of also listen to it at your pace, right?
So there's been times when I found a new podcast, like a new one that I like, and I will listen to like 7, because, you know, they're maybe 20 minutes, 50 minutes, one's an hour and a half, the next one's 40 minutes, whatever the hell. Yeah. And I will listen to them in like 7 in like 2 days, and I'm like, motherfucker, I want this guy to release another one.
Yeah. I feel that way too.
Because like sometimes I'll refresh my podcast feed, and I'm like, come on, there's not another one already? Yeah. Like, damn.
Exactly. Which one? What's that one for you?
Alex Hormozy.
Oh, nice. I love Alex Hormozy.
He's kind of cheesy sometimes, but he knows what the fuck he's saying.
Yeah. I mean, he talks the talk, right? Yeah. But he walks the walk, I guess.
You know, when you're worth $1 billion, I'm going to listen to what you got to say.
Yeah. And he seems pretty genuine, too. Mm-hmm. He's a cool dude. I like him.
He seems pretty cutthroat. I actually interviewed with this company.
No, you didn't.
Acquisitions.com.
Whoa.
As, I don't remember the title of it. The title and job description seem to have more responsibility than what the job actually was, because you were basically, you know how, for people who don't know, it's acquisition.com, whatever. They are like M&A, and they buy smaller companies and help smaller companies get to like X amount of revenue, and then they will help them sell them off, kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. And they have so much influx of, mom and pop reaching out to them like, hey, take us on as a project, that this job was basically just like a screening job of saying no to a bunch of people. And just like straight up, like the pay was like $30,000 a year.
What?
And I assumed that there was like a commission structure because, you're helping to buy companies. I was like, the commission structure will make it worthwhile. And on the call, the guy was like, nope, that just is what it is, flat. And I was like, I can't do that. So it was like a mutual, like, this probably isn't the best.
Damn.
I think it was like $32,000 a year for a full-time job.
That's crazy. In person?
It would be remote.
But
you're basically on call 8 to 8. And, like, you're not on, like, Balto. You're not on call 8 to 8.
Yeah.
But you better be ready to pick up and, like, screen something within, like, 5 minutes.
Damn.
For what's that, like, $9 an hour? And I was like, I can't take that on as a full-time job.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
That seems nuts. Anyway, I like Alex Hormozi. I listen to
I like him a lot, the game.
My First Million is the one that I listen to a lot.
I haven't heard of that. I think I've heard of it. Yep, I have heard of this. That guy.
Yeah, Sean Puri and Sam Parr.
Sam Parr. He's good. I like Sam Parr. What did he sell? He sold like a newsletter or like a digital marketing business?
Yeah, The Hustle. He sold The Hustle.
He's insightful. I like him a lot. Wow, didn't he sell for like $20 million or some shit?
Yeah, that's what he said. He just said the number for the first time a couple podcasts ago. He sold it for $20 million. He was 30, I think, 29 or 30. Imagine having $20 million in a year. The year before he sold it, he said he paid himself $300K or something. God damn,
that's a lot of money in sales.
I just want to see what $300K looks like.
For real, dude. Let's get to that point first.
Let me just take a little peek.
So you like podcasting? That's great to hear.
I love podcasting. I'm an extrovert. Conversations come naturally.
They're for you for sure.
I think. Thanks. I think producing content and having an opinion is important in this world. I think the only way to stand out is to not be like the rest of them. And I know like you have a podcast is kind of being like the rest of them, but at the same time, it's like,
look how many YouTube pages there are.
Yeah, whatever. Like, don't do it to be popular. Do it because it's a hobby of yours and you're passionate about it, and you like, want to continue to improve your conversational skills.
So
that's kind of how I see it.
You really like podcasting, or do you like podcasting? Do you like podcasting or the content creation more, or do you really like podcasting as the content creation?
Oh, I think it's all about finding like content producer fit. Like, what kind of content do you want to produce, and what kind of content are you good at?
Because I would never do a day in the life like vlog. I would never. That's not me.
Nah. Yes. The whatever type of content has the least amount of friction.
That's a good way of putting it.
You know what I'm saying? For me, podcasting is so easy. I have a little ass mic I bought like $25 at Best Buy, and I use Zoom.
I've got another mic that I was given that I don't use that I can give you. I don't know if it's better or not than what you have, but you can look at it, check it out. If you want it, you can take it. So I'll show you what I have. The like strategy and all this. This is Notion.
Oh, Gideon round 2.
Yeah. So
you were talking about. Oh, cool. Sweet.
So I have all this guest ideas. These are all. This is how I have it all organized.
Wow.
And like all of these, you can see if it has like a little thing in it, that means I got questions already teed up for them.
You put Pat McAfee.
Fuck yeah, dude. And then so here's like sponsors I have. That like it's just shit I already use that I would be all in on.
Yeah.
And then like this, so like to the content creation, like, and then in my notes, like whenever like ideas come, like I'm a big proponent of notes.
Wow.
These are all just like things that have come to my mind that I feel like I should probably make a video about on TikTok of just like thought dumps. Because, like, to the content creation, if I build my own, because the whole thing.
Wait, go down a little?
Like, the whole, like, future thing, the future, like, the currency of the future is attention. And, like, social media and, like, if you want to call it influencers, all that shit, like, the future is going towards how long you can hold someone's attention for.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Exactly.
And like personal brand's gonna be a huge part of that.
I couldn't agree more.
And if I could build, like, let alone the podcast and all that, but build your own personal brand, like one of the questions I had on here, I didn't fucking know that you have 4,000 followers on LinkedIn.
Is that how many?
That's insane, bro.
I didn't know that.
And just like shit like that is like building back to the community thing. Like at some point you gotta like build yourself up. Like you have to like be an advocate for yourself. Like shout out Charlie Hirth. He said that in his podcast. He's like, if I can give advice to people, you got to be an advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
And if you can't speak for yourself and put yourself in that position to do whatever it is, you're really falling behind on everything.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree more. Graphic designers have a portfolio. People will have to have one too.
Mm-hmm.
This is just
exactly. That's a great way of putting it.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it doesn't feel weird for me to put out a podcast that gets I don't know. Sometimes I get 75 to 100.
Yeah, I'm like people that listen to the full thing is like 10.
Yeah, I don't even know.
It's like 40 people to get like halfway through it, some shit like that. Yeah. I haven't looked at the statistics in forever.
Is it Apple that you get these analytics from?
Yeah, Apple's statistics are pretty. I'd say they're a little better than.
Jeez, I hope sponsors don't listen to this.
I get 1,000 an episode.
Yeah, actually, the way it works is if we partner on distribution, we can actually I truly believe this. And when I partner with this in distribution with people and we do it the right way, my podcast the highest I've gotten is 500 downloads, and that's because the people on the other side were they leaned into my ideas, and we kind of like co-marketed this. They put out a blog. I was on their website, on their Instagram, and they have a good following, and so I think that works. It works. It's just a matter of like how bought in is your guest, and that's hard to gauge actually.
Something with the podcast and like the personal brand and all that is your following and the listening and all that is you become the distribution at some point.
Yeah.
And with back to Rogan and like what you were talking about with Horse People Pod and them feeding you guests is that you at some point you can become the platform to hook other people up. It's like they have a book coming out and so they want to come on your shit to promote that book.
Exactly.
And it's like I don't know, there's a word for it where there's the optimal deal is where you're both coming out net positive.
Yeah.
And in that case, it's like you have an awesome guest on and you get a ton of listeners and everything, but at the same time, you just sold 100,000 copies of that book.
Yeah, I mean, that's the dream.
Right. But like that's like what you'd want to get it to.
Yeah, totally. And I honestly, like, I have a bunch of other horse ideas. I have a friend and we always talk about horse ideas, things you could do, like, around the horse industry it's niche, but it's big. The GDP around is like 100 billion plus.
Yeah, for sure.
If you put in like betting and races and stuff, 9 million horses in the U.S. right now. So like I don't know. There's like a lot of things you could do. It's just we don't know what.
Have you has the thought come across of sponsoring anything yourself?
Nah.
Because I don't know how much I should tell, whatever. I've had the thought of like doing like community like fitness events at like Forest Park or something.
Yeah.
Like, community rucks or some shit like that. Or, get like 30 of my buddies to go to Forest Park. We all do like up downs and, medicine ball throws or something. And the entire event's put on by the Joe Show.
That I haven't thought of.
And like, you go to like your pickup polo games and, get in touch with like a liquor distribution company and have a beer tent set up that's sponsored by Horse People Pod. Or whatever, like the thing is at, polo pickup games.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I had never thought about that. I should probably do that.
You don't have to. That's just a thought that I had personally. Because like that would be, because then one, it's my buddies, it's people that already know about it, and then people that are walking by. Like Forest Park's just an easy example. It's right there. We're there every day.
Yeah.
But if people are walking by and they see a bunch of people doing active shit, because like, yeah, I'm not the most fit person in the world, but I work out a lot.
Dude.
And to do like a community fitness event, I think would be really fun. And then people are like, what the fuck is going on with this? Why? What the fuck's
It's just an excuse to hang out with your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I should totally do that, actually. That's what I'm saying. I had a guy, I met a guy that did that, and he had an ice bath, or an ice whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What was it called? A cold plunge.
Yeah.
He just had a giant trough with ice water, and he was playing good music, and he was selling his coffee.
I was just like, hey, buy a cup of coffee, get in the cold plunge if you want to.
No, he said, get in the cold plunge, try a cup of coffee if you want to buy some.
Yeah.
You can, but no pressure.
Some shit like that.
Yeah. I actually never felt pressure to buy any, but.
Make it like a little event or something.
Yeah, the last thing I wanted after going into a cold plunge was coffee.
Yeah, for real.
And so that was his issue. I think I don't think he thought about it, but.
Okay, so to the horse talk.
Anyway.
Let's get to the Mongol Derby. This is like the craziest shit I've heard, man. So Gideon has been invited, asked to take part in the Mongol Derby, which is in Mongolia.
Yeah.
Next July, June, when is it?
July, August, I think. I don't know. The dates come out at the end of this month.
And it is the world's longest horse race.
Yeah, world's longest and toughest horse race, according to Ripley's Believe It or Not.
And you're riding a horse, camping out for about a week?
So you have to finish the race in 10 days in order for it to count.
So what's it, like 600 miles something?
It's a 1,000-kilometer race. Stretching across
600 miles.
Stretching across the old Genghis Khan postal route.
Holy fuck.
Through the Silk Road, essentially.
So is this a team event, or do you yourself have one horse and like you got your tent strapped on this horse and you're backing it, or what?
No. It's not a team event. You compete by yourself. It's an endurance race, and you ride up to 35 horses during this 10 days.
Whoa.
Yeah, they have over 1,500 horses they have to get ready for everybody who competes. Yeah.
Through the Mongolian steppe.
Yeah.
And is the world's longest horse race. The horse recreates the horse messenger system developed by Genghis Khan in 1224.
Cool.
Holy shit, dude. The exact course changes every year and is kept secret until shortly before the race begins. Terrain invariably includes mountain passes, green open valleys, wooded hills, river crossing, wetlands and floodplains, sandy semi-arid dunes, rolling hills, dry riverbeds, and, of course, open steppe. Jesus. Oh, so the entry fee provides the rider with the horses. That was my next question. A support team, pre-race training, and support stations along the way. I was like, dude, there's no way you're going to have to pay this and then find sponsors for it, too. Because, like what you just said, what'd you say, 25 horses? Yeah. For you to have to pay the entry fee and then figure out a way to get 25 horses in Mongolia? Yeah. I was like, how the fuck are you swinging this, 35, brother?
Dude, 35.
That's crazy.
So how? Yeah, so you're paying quite a lot, but it's a lot of logistics that they have to figure out. So
how did you get this? I follow the guy that hooked you up with this.
Oh, Eric.
I still follow him.
Oh, you should find a time with him, actually.
What's his? Let's shout him out. What's his name?
Eric Cooper. Eric Cooper Adventurist on Instagram. Eric with a K, I believe. Yeah, Eric
That's
Cooper
what I thought.
Adventures. Oh, you had it right there.
Eric Cooper Adventures. Yep, I follow this guy.
Yeah, this motherfucker.
This page is sweet.
He did the Mongol Derby and then just never left.
So he's still in Mongolia?
I mean, yeah, he comes back. He's in and out, but he runs this
Where's Mongolia? By like Russia?
In between Russia and China. Look at that.
Whoa, that is up there, bro. So where do you have any, I guess the route changes. Do you have like any idea where you would start?
Yeah, it's like up here. I don't know, somewhere
I guess try and say any of those. I can't even begin, bro.
Nah, I'm not even gonna try. But I am gonna try to learn some Mongolian.
So what's Mongolian? A mix of Chinese and Russian then?
Probably it's mostly Russian. They use Cyrillic letters.
So how do you train for this?
Your guess is as good as mine, I guess.
So 10 days, 620 miles. So you got to go at an average of 62 miles a day on a horse.
Yeah.
That means you're switching a horse twice a day.
I think I'm going to train as if I were a bike athlete.
Oh, okay. What's the farthest you've ridden a horse?
25 miles.
Really? Texas or something?
No, actually, it was Springfield.
Really?
Yeah.
You just did that.
Springfield. Yeah, Springfield was awesome. We went.
Shout out Spring Vegas.
Dude, fucking love.
A lot of my listeners went to Mo State or live in Springfield.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
dude.
Got a lot of connections.
Love Springfield. What a fun town. What a beautiful experience I had.
Good.
20 weeks. Southwest Missouri. Nothing like it, dude. It's just like an amazing little town.
It's low key a great spot for nature people.
Yeah, very low key. But it felt just like so. It was just fun. I got to go to all the lakes. We went to Branson a couple times, but most important, like I think the most fun about it was I met this lady, Kathy, who hooked me up with a horse, essentially. So I basically had my own horse all summer.
Nice.
And she let me ride whenever I wanted. After the first time she saw me ride, she was like, "Oh, this kid,
you know what you're doing."
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, and that was awesome. So Springfield has like a special place in my heart.
Good, that's awesome
Kathy,
to hear.
and she let me borrow that horse, and that horse and I bonded a little bit. Dude, I miss it already.
Hell yeah! Shout out Springfield.
Yeah, I could never live there full time. I'll tell you a funny story. My neighbor, he said. He was petting Tammy, my dog, and he was like, what kind of dog is this? And he's my neighbor, you know, we got along. He was awesome. He let us borrow a couple things, whatever. I said, she's just a Mexican mutt. And he goes, I knew she couldn't be perfect.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, dude, I fucking love this town,
perfect
dude.
little insult.
Yeah. Anyway.
Mongolian Derby, get back to this.
Yeah, sorry, Mongolian Derby. No, but that's how I trained. So I rode this horse. That's how this all is full circle. I rode this horse for 20 weeks.
And you took this horse 25 miles just through like trails and stuff?
Yeah, at the state parks and stuff. So I really got to see Southwest Missouri through like on horseback.
That's a really cool way to see it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think many people have done that.
I know, dude. It was really, really awesome.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah. Oh wow, you were like that kid on TikTok.
Yeah. Fucking what's
Show
it
me
called?
where this picture is.
Oh god, what is it? I paid for an account on that website. Oh, Fowler, god damn it, GeoGuessr.
GeoGuessr, yeah, that's what it is.
So yeah, you went to Branson. What's this? What lake is this?
Wow, I don't know.
Table Rock. And then there's Bull Shoals. Did you go to both of them?
No, I never went to Bull Shoals, actually. I was going to go after you said, but...
You went to Table Rock?
Yeah, we went to Table Rock three or four times.
This is Bull Shoals. I've heard Bull Shoals is just unbelievably beautiful.
Entirely man-made.
And it's like it's the type of lake like you can see 20 feet straight clear to the bottom.
Jeez.
Because it's like they have some, agreement, law, whatever, that like, I don't know if you can't have houses on the lake, or it's something like no one can build a house within like a couple 100 feet of the water.
Oh,
so there's no like immediate pollution to the lake.
Dude, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Really, I've never been, but I've heard it's just immaculate. So how are you gonna keep training then?
So how I'm gonna keep training is I was home over the Thanksgiving break, and I was talking to my friends were asking me the same questions,
right? And
I was like, this is what I've been doing. I've been running a lot more, I've been doing like 10 or 15 miles a week, or at least like that's my goal.
That's pretty good.
I've been lifting some weights here and there, whenever I can, a couple times a week for the last few months. So I'm like prepping for that, so that these next 6 months, starting in January, I can like go a little bit harder. And I was telling them this, and my friends were like, dude, one of them is like a really good cyclist. He's like, dude, you have to train like a cyclist. It's an endurance. You're on a saddle. You have to learn how to eat while you're riding, and like eat a lot of sugars, because I'll be burning a lot of calories doing this, and
a lot of
carbs. And so if you're like gonna,
almost like the runner gels and all that shit.
Yeah, exactly. All these runner gels and shit. And I was like, wow, I actually never heard of that. And I want to win.
What would it take to win? Finish like 8 days?
Yeah.
So when riding a horse for that experience, 25 miles, what is like the most taxing part? Dude. Is it your legs? Is it your core?
No, bro.
Like I've ridden your ass off. Like I've ridden a horse, but like I've ridden a horse for like a mile.
Yeah.
Like I've never.
Your knees get a little got there for a little bit, but I think what for me, and this might be a problem only specific to me, dude, is by the end of these rides, bro, like I felt like I had zero ass hair. It was just
chafing like a motherfucker.
Dude, it's like every time towards the end, it felt like I was getting another little hair pulled. Because you're dude, can you imagine? It was the worst.
I mean, you're just like this the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, you got a rhythm to it, but yeah, I mean, after 25 miles, everything, if you don't have the right gear on, you're gonna get fucked. And I didn't have the right gear this summer. I was riding in jeans and stuff. And these endurance riders, the people who know what the fuck they're doing, because that's what. So there's a discipline, and that discipline is endurance. We were talking about equestrian and 100 jumpers and barrel racers and, whatever the fuck. Another discipline is endurance. And that's who I stumbled upon in Springfield. Like, what are the fucking odds?
Jeez.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Springfield's always going to hold a special place for you, though.
Yeah, so I get into the Mongol Derby. I start the podcast. I'm not really working out after I get, whatever, I'm running. I've always kind of started running. And then we end up in Springfield over the summer. I'm like, how the fuck am I I'm not going to play polo, so I don't have access to horses. Like, how am I going to figure out access to horses in Springfield? Type in a little Facebook.
Who's got a horse?
I'm moved to Springfield. Mm-hmm. I can ride, and in exchange, you can get your horse worked,
mm-hmm.
for free. Both of us.
Caretaker kind of a thing.
Yeah. And someone DM'd me like 2 minutes after I posted that and said,
it was Kathy?
Hey, me first. Yeah.
Really?
And it was Kathy. And then we started texting. She's so funny. She said, "You're not one of those scammers, are you?
You're not going to steal my horse, are you?
You're going to steal my horse." And so I sent her my pod, and I think that helped, actually. I should have her
What
on
a small world.
Yeah. Yeah. And then she put me on. She was like, "What? Have you tried this?" Da, da, da. And then I got on the horse. She saw me ride, and she was like, "Oh, this kid knows what's up."
So what does Kathy do? She have like a horse farm or
She's
what?
She's a salon person. She's a, what do you call people who cut girls'
like a hairdresser?
Yeah.
And she owned a horse? Does
she has 3 or 4 horses, yeah.
And she just needed help taking care of them.
Yeah, so this horse that I was riding she's not old, but she's not young anymore.
What's old for a horse? What's like a horse's life expectancy?
They probably live to like 25, 30.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What
were you expecting?
12, 15? I mean, just an animal that big. I guess elephants live to like 40.
Do they?
I think so.
Jamie, can you look that up?
Yeah, Jamie, keep pulling it up.
How long do elephants live?
60, 70.
Almost double what you said.
I mean, yeah. Because, like, I mean, I was thinking in, like, domesticated terms because, most horses are probably domesticated. And domesticated animals usually have a shorter lifespan. Like, just like a big dog.
Yeah. Like a Great Dane has a shorter life. Yeah, totally. That's fair. Super fair.
I've never had I don't know.
Anyway, Mia, the horse I was riding, she was 19. So she was, like, a little bit past her prime, but, Tom Brady kind of thing.
So you're hoping you want to win. Obviously, you want to win.
Mongol Derby.
You want to finish.
I'm for sure. Okay, so.
What are you most worried about? Is it the chafing or like the carbs or like being sore?
I think it's just letting something unexpected happen. Like if the race goes smoothly, there's no reason why I shouldn't finish top 5.
Really?
Yeah. I don't see why not.
How many people are in it?
40.
In 2016, 21 men, 23 women.
So like about 45 maybe. That's about as many as they can support with.
Yeah.
They only have so many horses.
That's so many horses. So what's that? 30 a person, 40, 120 horses? That is so many horses.
Yeah, it's like about 1,500 horses that they need.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I said 120. Yeah, 50. Yeah. Wow. God damn.
Insane, right?
I've never seen that many horses in my life.
So, I don't know. A lot of things happen around horses. I think if everything goes smooth, I'll win.
Good.
I don't see why not.
Good. That's the attitude to have.
Because
you're not going to win if you don't think you can.
Yeah. I'm not going there to lose.
Fuck that.
I was thinking about this a lot. And when I first signed up, like the first year, my entire thought process was, I just want to finish.
Right.
And that's true.
Yeah.
And actually, that's the goal above the goals, right? Like, I just truly, to my core, I just want to finish.
Do you know how many people?
And if I can, I want to finish first.
Yeah, as you should.
Right? So it's like, I think the story gets a lot better if I can say, like, my credibility goes way higher if I can say that I won it.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Versus if I get, second place or whatever. Second place will still be cool, but you know what I'm saying? If I finish last, it changes a little bit, the dynamic. Where it's like I finished the race versus I won the race, I think is I understand. Is a little bit different. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change much. So that's why I'm like, I just want to finish. It's a little bit.
Of these, let's say there's 45 people. How many of these 45 are people like Eric versus people like you versus people like a Bush from St. Louis that just is into horses, that just like bought themselves into the race? Like, what's the split with that?
I don't know. I'll have to come back to you on that.
Like, do you know, like, you have no idea if like maybe 5 of these guys are like world champion horse riders?
No idea.
I wonder.
No idea who they
Does it happen every year?
It's been happening every year since 2009. I think it happened. They doubled up on.
So probably didn't have it in COVID, I guess.
They didn't have one in COVID, but then they had 2.
Have you watched the film, the documentary?
No, and I don't know if I should.
Don't.
What's your take? I haven't watched it because I haven't decided if it's the right thing to do, or if I just want to experience all of that first.
I mean, have you watched like any YouTube videos on it, or have you just heard about it from Eric?
I've like seen the pictures, and like I follow their Instagram and stuff.
No, fuck it.
I shouldn't watch it, right?
No, head first, cold water, cold plunge.
Yeah,
fuck it.
That's what I was thinking. So that's why.
Because that would honestly kind of take the fun out of it.
Yeah, like, okay. Some people might argue that it's like it helps them prepare for like what's to come, and I agree with that too. But I think I just kind of want to.
I mean, how can you possibly? You live in St. Louis, about to live in Denver. How can you possibly prepare for 10 days in Mongolia? It's literally the other side of the planet.
Yeah, so I don't fucking know. I hope to just stay fit, stay healthy, and
that's all I am.
Honestly, like if I can do that, it's a huge net positive.
Good for you, man. That is so awesome.
It's gonna be.
That's gonna be literally a once in 100 lifetime experience,
dude. And that's how I think about it. It's $20K right now is a lot of money, but in 20 years, $20K is gonna be like nothing.
Because in 20 years, so if you would have turned it down in 20 years, you'd be kicking yourself.
Yeah, can you imagine?
So did Eric give up his spot or something, or how did this happen?
He organizes it. He's the director of operations or VP of operations or whatever the fuck.
So with 45 people, they're like 1,000 applicants or something? Or?
Yeah, something like that. I think it fluctuates between 500 to 1,000. And
because how do you know him?
I cold DM'd him.
No way.
Yeah,
that's sick. He's from the States.
He's from Missouri.
Get out.
Yeah, bro. So this is how I got. This is all how it all happened. I met him here in St. Louis.
Where's he from? He's from St. Louis?
He's from a little town somewhere out there.
That is so crazy. People that we're talking about, at Eric with a K, Cooper Adventurist on Instagram. Really interesting page. His photos are incredible. He's literally riding a reindeer in this picture. That is... I guess he's next to a reindeer. But still, like these pictures are just immaculate. So what's he, like an adventure guide or something then?
Yeah, exactly. He has the network down there and he takes people on these adventures.
That is crazy.
There's this like tribe in Mongolia that domesticated reindeer. It's one of the few tribes in the world that use reindeer in this way. And it's really,
as like
really
pack
unique.
mules or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of, they like ride them as transportation.
That is crazy.
And so this is to the extent of things that I've seen is kind of like his Instagram. And so anyway, so like, dude, go down a little bit.
This is a good look at it.
One more. One more. Where is? I just saw it. Go down. Oh, it's coming up. Next one. Yeah, this one. Click on that one. Yeah, dude, that's insane. Click on the next one too. Bro.
That's crazy.
And so I saw these 2 pictures or something like that. Maybe not these exact 2 because I messaged him way before that. And I'm like, bro.
mean, this is nuts.
What the fuck does it take to get on these adventures?
Look at that. I mean, that's got to be 50 miles away.
That's the Derby.
Okay, so that was one of my questions is, like, in horse speed, are you, like, you're not just, like, walking these horses. You're probably at, like, a jog for the horse most of the time, right?
Yeah, a trot.
It's 30 miles. What is it? 60 miles a day. So if you're riding for 8 hours, you're going 8 miles an hour. That's a trot. Yeah, jog. 10 miles an hour, maybe. How long are you riding for 8 hours a day? 10 hours a day?
If you want to win, you're going to ride for as long as you can.
Yeah, so 8 days. So you got to do 80 miles a day.
Yeah. 10
hours would be 8 miles an hour. Or 10 miles an hour for 8 hours.
And the way it works, though, is...
on average. That's crazy.
The horse gets checked at every checkpoint. And they'll give you time delays if the horse has a heart rate over a certain allowed limit.
Because isn't that a thing with horses? Well, they'll just run until, like, they'll run off a cliff if they aren't told otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for you, man.
So
I can't wait. I cannot wait to see the posts about this.
Yeah, right, bro. And then the other day I found out this is a small flex, but so I'm paying for it, you know, like on I've got these payment terms or whatever. Actually, what I'll tell you exactly what I did. I don't know if I should or not, but I'll tell you. I took out a no interest credit card. I had 24 months on it or 18 months on it. And I paid the Mongol Derby with that credit card.
Whole.
What's up?
In full.
In full. And I've been paying that credit card off since $500 a month or whatever. I kind of see it like as a car payment.
Yeah. Rather than just a lump sum.
Yeah. And
because you can definitely afford that.
Right. Right? You like finance it. Kind of. But then
you did car payment. Yeah, exactly. And like,
but I did it by myself.
Right.
And my goal has been to use so then my goal was like, how do I make money to pay for this shit? And
got the extra $500 come back in.
Yeah. And that's been my goal here since the start. And yeah, I love podcasting.
Anyone that listens, I've got a buddy that's doing the longest horse race in the world. If you want to sponsor him, he's looking for sponsors.
Yeah, I'm looking for sponsors. Open to anyone, but anyone who's like in and around horses, I think, or wanting to expand into horse audiences. That would be the vibe. So we'll see, man. I don't know what I'll get, who I'll get, but I'm trying to get like a backpack from Osprey.
Yeah, get kitted out.
Yeah, I want to get
a Sika jacket or something.
Honestly, if I get $20,000 worth of gear, and like, I'll take it. Like, I don't care. I just like don't want to feel like I lost money on this experience, and I think it's a good motivator.
Back to the sponsorship talk we were talking about earlier. Some of these sponsors that I have on here.
Yeah, who else?
And like,
you have to call it out sometimes.
Yeah, I'll just read them. Like Liquid IV, Modelo.
Oh yeah.
First Form, Spike Ball, Kane Footwear, Stock Coffee, Long Drink, Peel Pizza. Shout out here in Clayton. Thursday Boots, Bluntstone. It's like, yeah, it'd be awesome to have a sponsorship, but if I could just get that shit for free, like that, and like as long as I can remember being a kid. Like, when I went on, like, traveling lacrosse trips and stuff, like, I just thought it was the coolest shit to get free gear.
Yeah,
I was like, and, like, when I saw, like, kids, you know, they were invited to, like, a Nike basketball camp or something.
Yeah.
And they came to school with, like, the fresh-ass backpack. I was like, damn, I want that, man. Maybe I play basketball.
Bro, I couldn't agree more.
And, like, you know, if I got sponsored by Modelo, let alone, like, free Modelo, like, if they just hooked up, like, a Modelo backpack or something.
Dude,
like, no one else has.
Need.
Yeah.
Oh, where'd you get this? Oh, dude.
Check out
sponsored.
the podcast.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, dude, the Mongol Derby is going to be fun. I'm super pumped to do something so,
and you just still don't know the dates
be so
yet.
life-changing.
Yeah. Oh, my God, yeah.
I think it'll be a very spiritual race. I think...
So you got to have like the overlanding skills too. You got to know how to camp. You got to know how to build a fire. You got to know like.
Yeah. Yes and no. So like, yes, you got to know that in case you get stuck out there, and no, you don't have to know that because every station has a few what they call gurs, so like huts, where you camp for the night.
Like yurts kind of a thing?
Yeah, like yurts. But they're called GERs, Gers.
Is that like what the hut we just saw in one of these pictures was?
Yeah, exactly. And so...
Maybe it's in one of the videos.
Some people do camp out in the wilderness, and you have to fucking hobble your horse. Basically tie their front legs together and their back legs together so that they can walk like this instead of like run out, and you can catch them in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no trees. That might be too small.
That looks like a straight up TP.
Yeah, go back. We saw one earlier. There it is. That
okay.
One.
Yeah. So yeah, a yurt. What'd you call it? A gur?
Yeah, it's a gur.
Gur.
GERS. Or G. Yeah, GERS.
Sure, Mongolia. Huh.
Plus, like.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Who the fuck goes to Mongolia?
Dude, that's what I've been thinking that. Like, I get, like, going to China, Russia. Like, you went to Russia, like, going to China and, like, seeing, like, the big cities. But this is, like, going into, like, the middle of fucking nowhere in Montana.
Yeah.
Like, this is wide open country.
This is a wide open country and, like...
100 miles, bro? 600 miles?
Yeah, 600 miles.
That's more than Missouri.
Oh, yeah. It's basically riding a horse from El Paso to Texas A&M.
Jesus Christ.
Or to, like, Austin.
That's crazy.
That's nuts, right? It's about 10-hour drive.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, so whatever. I'm excited. I'm super pumped. I'm stoked. I don't think there's a world where I'm just like so grateful that this is
good.
Like, dude, the thing is like it's something that like I really wanted. When I first heard about it in 2018, when I messaged Eric about how the fuck do you ride reindeer? Like, what do you need to make this happen? Because we were in Russia. And I was like, how do we do this again? Even cooler, you know? And I messaged him. This was 2018. And I said, one day I'll do it. Right now I'm broke. I was an SDR with you. Mm-hmm. And we were making 40K base.
Not enough to do this.
And yeah, not enough to do this. And I was like, one day I'll do it. One day I'll do it. One day I'll do it. And I printed out some of these pictures that I actually DM'd a competitor from the year previous. And I asked if they sent her the pictures, and she sent me some. And I printed them out, and I put them in my wall in my apartment.
Like a vision board?
They were cool pictures, though. So they're like, it's like this. It's like a vision board, but you wouldn't be able to tell.
Of like me looking at it, I have no idea what I was
looking at. Yeah, to you, if you walked into my house, you'd just look like, oh, wow, that's a good landscape.
Sure.
That's pretty. I can see why that's there. But for me, it was like...
this horse race.
Yeah, like I have to have enough money for this. And then at Balto, towards the end of the stint, I was making enough money. And I said to myself, you know what? Like, now or never, baby. Let's do it.
Now, yeah.
And I texted Eric, and I was like, it's time. And he hooked it up. Made me go through the process, do all the due diligence and stuff. But he seen me play polo, so that was like, he was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, dude,
this isn't just some kid.
Yeah, dude can ride.
Yeah.
Or at least, like, whatever. It's not like, you know, some kid off the street who's like, I really want to try this. I bet there's a lot of people who would love to do this, but...
I would love to do this, but no shape but like, of the imagination should I.
You have to really be a horse person.
Right.
Like, your horsemanship has to be elite.
I don't know what to do when I walk up to a horse, let alone spend 10 days with them.
So, yeah, so I'm pumped. Should be a good time. I'm so fucking stoked. The other day, I got an email about it. Should be. I'm so stoked.
So you should get the date soon then.
Yeah, I should get a date soon. They were like, think about insurance, do about this. I was like, oh, sick. And like, and if you want some more training, we have like, kind of like their upsell is like these mini camps before. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, great. Yeah, no thanks. If I need a mini camp, I'll just go to fucking Springfield. I got that shit for free down there. I got to take care of,
don't worry.
Straight up. And I fucking might. Sophie might kill me, but if it's the only thing I could do to ride, I might. But I shouldn't be saying this, but
I mean, we're over an hour in. We've lost all listeners.
I know, right?
It's just me and you listening now.
I might be able to go to Aspen and ride in Aspen for the polo ponies there, because the ranch that I grew up playing at takes their horses out there, and I'm hoping that I can just work in the morning kind of thing, and then do my 9 to 5, but do like a 7 to 9. Dude,
it's funny how some stars align. Because, talk about timing with all this. You had no idea you're going to Denver when you reached out to him and when all this was coming to fruition. And talk about the perfect landscape and perfect atmosphere to, quote, train in.
Yeah, right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna get really into skiing. So that should keep me fit, right? I don't know. It's
I don't know what the weather's like in Mongolia in July. I'm assuming it's tolerable.
Yeah, sometimes I see pictures and they get really cold out there.
It's got Colorado, or Montana drops 50, but I'm assuming you're not going to be dealing with snow.
I don't think so.
From what we're seeing, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think snow is. I think rain is an issue, and I do think it drops. So it can drop to.
It's wide open landscape. If there's a 20-mile-an-hour wind, it's going to feel like it's 20 degrees out.
Yeah. But check that out, dude. Can you imagine what the stars look like? Mongolia is the least populated country in the world by landmass.
That thing was fucking huge. What we were just looking at? I had no idea it was that big.
Dude, and guess how many people live in it?
What, 1 million?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's I think last I saw was
that's
4
fucking
million.
Huge.
3 million, 4 million, something like that.
Mongolia size compared to U.S.
No, nice.
It's gotta be. Yeah, dude, it's half the fucking country.
Oh wow, the U.S. is bigger.
I was gonna guess that it was probably the size of the U.S., but it's most of, for people listening, it's most of Wyoming, Nebraska, Iowa, half of Missouri, all of Kansas, all of Colorado, half of Utah, and then it dips into Idaho, and half a quarter of New Mexico.
Basically all the flyover states.
That's fucking crazy.
Wow. That's crazy because look at how much bigger it looks on this here.
Right.
Compared to the U.S. You'd think they're the same size.
From looking at this, I would... Because these maps are always distorted, and you always see those of actual size and all that stuff.
I guess in this map you could kind of see that it's a little smaller, but it's still a giant country, no matter how you spin it.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm pumped. Will be very unique. I'm really excited about it. Have you thought about where you're going to go on your honeymoon?
No. For people that are listening, I'm engaged now. Actually, shout out Britt.
shout out
my fiance, Brittany Burnett. I'm hoping to have the first woman guest on here soon.
Oh,
which would be her. Yeah. Not for that reason. It's not going to be fucking lovey-dovey talk. Oh, I love you, boyfriend, all that shit. Her experience is where she's at and where she's come from in the real world has been a ride.
Dude, yeah, Brit's a rock star.
She is a rock star. Tell
she's
her
the breadwinner.
She is the breadwinner. I'm a stay-at-home dad right now. Me and that fucking cat.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome. That's gonna be a fun.
No, we're talking about planning the wedding and all that, and honeymoon. There's the typical shit. Do a beach and one of the South American or Caribbean islands, like St. Lucia, Barbados, that kind of a thing. She's never been abroad. She really wants to do something like that. I don't think it's so we haven't talked in depth about it. That's been the 1% of the conversation of all this planning. And if we were to go to abroad, I don't think we'd do 3 days in Rome, 3 days in London, 3 days in Barcelona, 3 days in. I think we'd probably do something along the lines of what my older sister did, which was she did I think it was 5 days in Greece and 5 days in the coast of the Italian coast. So it'd probably be some shit like that, maybe.
Yeah. You can only have one. You can only move. Traveling is stressful.
Yeah.
And if you make your honeymoon traveling, you're not gonna relax.
And we can always do that. I'm not saying we can always we can always do that. There's always the chance if she likes abroad and she likes traveling, because she's never been on a flight that's 8 hours long. Like, we'll see how she handles that one first. And then we can talk about hopping city to city for 2 days at a time.
Yeah.
No, we have not. I don't really care. I've been very fortunate. I've traveled a lot. I've seen a lot. There's a lot that I still want to see.
What's your trip? What's your dream trip? No, like, money is not an issue. You get a private jet if you want one, kind of thing. Like, where would you go for 2 weeks straight?
Wow. 2 weeks straight?
Yeah.
I don't know. What my sister did looked like a lot of fun. To do like one of like a catamaran cruise in like the Mediterranean between Italy and Greece would be really cool. When I studied abroad, I was on the Mediterranean coast in Spain. I was basically in like a beach town. So that was really cool.
Where'd you study abroad in Spain?
Alicante, which is like the south. It's like down here somewhere.
I see it.
Yeah, right there. I basically, like, just to
How
put
long were you there?
4 weeks. I studied abroad for 6 weeks.
Oh, nice.
I was there for 4 weeks. In, like, U.S. terms, I basically studied abroad at, like, Florida State.
Oh, nice.
Like, I was at, like, you know, like, palm trees were on campus. No, there weren't students there.
Yeah.
But, like, that's what the campus was. We were 20 minutes train ride from the beach, that kind of shit.
Nice.
I don't know, man. I really want to go down here.
Yeah, that's
like in general. My stepsister did a surf trip in Belize, and then Andy Hoover, who's been on twice now. Him and his buddies did 10 days into Costa Rica. I'd really like to do some shit like that.
That would be sick.
So like what I like, Spain was awesome. I love Spain. Spain will always hold a special place in my heart. I don't necessarily need to go back for like a week.
Yeah,
I'd love to go back to Spain. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. But
like what you're asking, I don't know. Somewhere
2 weeks, I'll expense paid.
I don't know, man. There's so much I want to do.
Ready, set, go.
And like to shit that you've done, like I'd like to go down here.
Yeah, I would love to go
Chile and Argentina. Like, because like people, when you talk about study abroad and like, oh, I'm going backpacking, it's always Europe.
Yeah.
98% of the time it's Europe.
Yeah.
And like, have you done South America?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to go last year to Santiago. And the north, I went to the Chilean desert.
Whoa. For how long?
We were there for about...
Did I know this? I don't know if I knew this.
7 days, 8 days. Yeah,
Santiago, Chilean desert. Where's that?
Yeah,
somewhere in here?
Right. So, Calama is where we flew in, and we drove down to San Pedro Atacama, and that's where we spent our time.
I'd really like to see the southern part of South America. Brazil would be cool, and like Buenos Aires, that'd be cool. I don't really need to see Colombia, Venezuela for.
I just want to see it all, dude.
But like you always hear, I went abroad. I know,
what
like
about Antarctica.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But like, so you, including you, I think I know maybe 5 people that have been to South America. Like what we're talking about: Chile, Argentina, Brazil, Peru. I know a ton of people who've been to Costa Rica and all that. I guess that's Central America. I don't know if I know anyone that's been to Argentina, but I know 100 people that have been to Greece and Italy and all that stuff.
Yeah, totally.
You know
you got to find those. Dude, I've heard Zanzibar, and I think it's in Tanzania or Namibia, is beautiful. Africa is like hugely underrated.
I'd really like to do South Africa. I'd like to do a safari.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law's parents just did a safari trip for 10 days. Oh God, they were somewhere down here. They flew into Johannesburg. I don't know where their safari was, but they flew into Johannesburg. And he said like he could not stop talking about it, rightfully so. And I really, well, like, I don't know, man. It's
just so far away.
Like, and like, I don't have experience in a lot of those things. And like, to this point, like, just call it South Africa. I don't know many people that have done that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't knock one over the other. Like,
right.
I'm very fortunate. I did study abroad and all of it was amazing, but like, I wouldn't.
South of France.
If I had 2 weeks, all expenses paid, like, I wouldn't necessarily go and just do the exact same trip.
Yeah, that makes sense. Would it change if you had 2 weeks, but you could split it?
Yeah.
How would it change?
Because I really want to see Tokyo. But, like, I don't need to spend 2 weeks in Tokyo. And, like, I'd really like to see Japan. And at some point, like, Davis went to Vietnam, and he is just... head over heels for Vietnam, and like I'd really like to go to like Indonesia, like Philippines. I really want to. And he studied abroad in Ho Chi Minh City.
Whoa!
And he did it twice, and so he spent one summer. He spent 8 weeks in Ho Chi Minh City, and then the next summer I think he spent 10 weeks.
Nice.
So he's like on, and he still gives back to the school that he was with.
Wow.
He's like and like I get it, like I totally get it. And he's probably one of the only people I know that's been to that part of the world.
Yeah, totally. I know exactly
what would you do?
I don't know. If I had 2 weeks all expense paid, I thought I would go to Patagonia, but then we panned over Nepal, and I've always wanted to do like Nepal. You know, like, there's this festival of dogs.
Oh wow!
That they like worship. They like paint them and like treat them really nice and stuff. It sounds really amazing. I saw a TikTok about it, and I can't stop thinking about it.
I bet that's really cool.
Plus, like Everest. I'd love to do like Everest Base Camp or something. I don't know if Everest is the type of ambition I have, but
I have an obsession with Egypt and the Great Pyramids and all that. I'd really like to see that.
There's just so many places. I don't know. So I think for a long time, for a very long time, my 2 week split trip, all expenses paid, was a week in Patagonia in the national park there, where
that's like in Argentina, isn't it? Yeah, somewhere down here.
It's actually in Chile. It's called Torres del Paine, something like that.
Point me.
Go below Santiago, but above the cold.
Somewhere
around there, yeah. Yes.
Patagonia's a mountain range, right?
Yeah, go a little bit lower, around there, probably. I don't know. Yeah, just do one of those. Oh, wrong one.
Oh. So it's in here.
Yeah, it's like a whole ass region. I'm obsessed with Ushuaia a little bit, which is the bottom of all this. And it's like where you jump to go to Antarctica.
Something that I like to do, and I look at maps a lot for my job. And when I'm just like burnt out, whatever I'm doing, I will do this exact thing. And like, so what we're doing right now, like I will just scroll in and just like, if I had to fake my death, what little small town am I picking? Yeah. And like, I'll just go and like look and just like see what the little town's about, like see what's going on there. And like, I always go to like the Gulf and like this peninsula, the Yucatan.
Oh, beautiful place.
And just like pick these little towns and just like see what's going on here. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Like this little strip. I've looked at this little strip like 10 times.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and just like say,
we should do that one day. We should like plan a trip.
Like that looks gorgeous, man.
We should plan a trip to Mexico.
I'd love to.
That'd be fun. It'd be super random. People would be like, "Who the fuck?" But it'd be sick. Actually, we should plan it.
That's something. It's not
in the next 10 years, that has to happen. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in.
I'm in no rush to make it happen, but I think it should happen.
That's something that I really appreciate, and I'm really in on is Brits. Call it her stepdad. They're not married, but whatever. Her mom's boyfriend, John. It started with all of his pledge brothers, but now it's become a group of like 50 dudes. Mm-hmm. And every year there's either a hunting or a fishing trip they do. And it's a group of 50 guys, but every year it's like, only 15, maybe 20 guys can go. And he just got back a couple weeks ago from a redfish bayou trip in Louisiana.
Well,
he was fishing for redfish in Louisiana for like 10 days. 2 years ago, he did sail fishing off the coast of Bermuda. Last year, he did a Canadian goose hunt. Another year.
You can, dude. Fuck. If I knew, I'd just shoot fucking Canadian geese out of Forest Park.
For real, dude. Just hit them with your car.
Yeah.
But he does these like
sick 'em, Jimmy.
These like crazy trips that are all like, just for the sake of conversation, you pay $10,000. It's all expenses paid.
Yeah.
It's you got a private chef. It's like you're not staying in like huts. You got like a cabin kind of a thing. You got like top tier guide, top tier boats, all that kind of shit. And he goes for like 10 days and does these like world-class fishing and hunting trips. And I'm like, dude, if I had the time and money, that is what I would be doing.
If I had the money.
Yeah, and like I don't know what this shit costs. Like, what did I say? Bermuda? He was in Guatemala. He did sail fishing in Guatemala.
Oh, poor guy. He didn't go to Bermuda. He went to Guatemala.
Yeah, I know, right? But like these pictures he was taking, like at one point one of the guides took a GoPro, jumped in the water, swam like 10 feet down, and like they can't pull the sailfish onto the boat because it's 8 feet long. Jeez. And he's like 4 feet under the water holding this fucking swordfish like this to just get a picture with a thing. I'm like, dude, that's crazy. And then like some of these fish they catch, they catch like, I don't even know what it was, but they'd pull it in, like the guide would chop it up on the boat, and like for lunch they just have fresh ceviche.
Jeez. Mm-hmm. Ugh, that's the dream. I think one of my buddies is a big fisher guy, and he said for his bachelor party he wants to take Saul like tuna fishing with the rod, like.
Mm-hmm. Or you're reeling it in for like 2 hours or some shit like that.
And so you could get a couple. Mm-hmm. I think that would be so fun, and I have fucking giant tubs of tuna meat. Mm-hmm. I fucking love tuna, dude.
Really?
Yeah, little
tuna steaks.
Tuna steaks, and like put it up in. I think tuna is like the best kind of fish meat.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I'm not a big seafood guy,
but I love sushi.
There you go. Something else I want to talk about.
Yeah,
I had a lot we want to talk about. We're already at an hour and a half.
Jeez, no, it's all good. I mean, let's talk about it, bro. I got time.
Back to the content stuff and strategy and community and personal brand.
Yeah.
You didn't know, but you have 4,000 followers on LinkedIn.
No, I didn't know that.
And you post a lot on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But you don't just like repost bullshit. You post like insightful thoughts you have. Or like if it's a repost, you'll put like genuine thoughts behind it. Is there a reasoning behind that? Or have you just like been enjoying? Because you
I just think it'll help me make more sales.
Because with Balto, I feel like that was kind of part of our job. And then like when I was gone and you were still there, that was definitely part of your job. Do you think that that's like part of the reason? Like it's just like now instinctual for you? Or do you have like a reason and drive behind that?
No, I really do believe it's just because I think it's part of that. I mean, truly, it's because I think it'll bring me more sales. And then if you peel back the onion a little bit more, it's because I feel like when I do post and when I'm like when you consider it a little bit of a thought leader on LinkedIn, it elevates your profile in the views of a hiring manager or recruiter.
Sure.
And so I just think, well, maybe if I do this, it'll make it easier for me to get my next job, or at least meet someone who could help me get my next job, which is kind of what happened.
Is for what you're doing now, did that?
Yeah,
was that a catalyst?
Yeah, I mean, it was through Venture for America friend, but I'm sure it didn't hurt, I guess, the content on LinkedIn.
Do you actively try and post like once a day?
No, I actually haven't posted in a while. I try to do it when I have something to say. And sometimes I don't have things to say. And I want to like ChatGPT it, and I have before, and you could probably find them.
Like you could tell.
Yeah, and I just like felt bad. I was like, I can't ChatGPT my LinkedIn post. That's kind of rude. I don't know why I felt that way, but it did.
I feel that. I had ChatGPT write me a cover letter.
Oh, that different.
I had to write me a couple cover letters, and it was impressive.
Are you still at Invest St. Louis or whatever? Mm-hmm. Nice. Do you like it?
Yeah. I've been
You got to say that, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks for the money.
Yeah. I like what I do. I love the industry. I love the team. I love my boss. I guess you can call him a boss. He's not really a boss. More of a mentor. My broker, the head broker there.
Yeah.
I've been actively interviewing for other stuff. I go to Columbia on Monday for like a third or fourth round in-person interview for another job.
Shit. What kind of job?
Basically the same stuff. Bigger company, bigger footprint, different pay, different structure, all that kind of stuff.
Nice. Better?
I think so. I think I've outgrown what I've done. I do. It's just time for something else.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'd basically be doing the same thing, but strictly bigger properties and other states in a nutshell.
Nice.
Fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes. I'm going there Monday to meet the team.
Would you have to be based out of Colombia?
Or remote.
Oh, perfect.
I'd go to Colombia, every other week or something just to stick my head in the door, but
yeah.
Which it's just Colombia. It's an hour and a half away, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, for you, that's like just another drive.
Yeah, exactly. So just I don't know.
Go to Chesterfield and go to Colombia have the same vibe actually when you're coming from the city.
Yeah, exactly. But with the LinkedIn stuff and like stuff that I've read about like growing the podcast and distribution and all that, when it comes to like what I was talking about with how everyone should have a personal brand and like building out your brand and your niche and your network and all that, I have come to realize that writing in general is like a big part of that. And whether it be like a newsletter or like short form tweets or
it's just so hard to do it all.
Yeah. And like you have Horse People Podcast on your LinkedIn.
Fuck yeah.
And I have never once thought, well, I've come to the thought recently of like, maybe I should have this on mine. Yeah. But like before I started seeing this stuff, like the past month or two, like I never once ever thought that I should put the podcast on my LinkedIn.
Really? Mm-mm. Damn. I must think a whole different way because that was like the second thought that came to my mind. I was like, oh, fuck yeah.
But like now I realize like when I saw that you had that on there, I was like, dude, I am fucking behind. Because then like I always had the thought is like after every episode, let alone every episode, every other, like there could be a few posts from every episode about what I learned in like this industry, that industry, this guy's thoughts, that guy's thoughts, what I took away from the kid, what everyone else can take away from the kid.
Actually, that reminds me of a question I had for you coming into this was, what have you learned
from this?
Yeah. What kind of takeaways have you gotten from the Joe Show and like specifically like the guests you've talked to? Not about like the production, but like what kind of like philosophies have you learned or like?
Wow, that's a good question.
I'll let you ponder on it. I have to take a piss real quick.
For sure, we can pause. We're at an hour 36.
Dude, it just goes by so fast.
So fast. I'm going to piss after you, too. Huh. No way. Hunter Henry has 2 touchdowns. Do you still do fantasy football?
Nah.
I remember you saying last time I talked to you, or maybe it was like last year that you dipped out of it.
Yeah. It was it's just a tough act to follow.
Do you have a hard stop?
No. Do you?
No. Time is it? 9:20. Oh.
Yeah, it is, bro. You got girls now. Start dating.
Yeah.
How's it going? Just kidding. It's not that bad. gotta let him know where you are.
Yeah, give him updates. That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. There's no pressure to come home. It's just like.
What was your question?
I don't know. Oh,
what did I take away from this? What have I learned from it?
What have you learned? What's kind of the thing you've learned?
I mean, back to the, like, everyone has a story, and, like, you really can learn something from everybody. And, like, in my day-to-day, I try and be more thoughtful and, like, I don't know if the right word's intuitive. That's not the right word.
Intentional.
Yeah, I guess. With, like, just, like, everyday, like, day-to-day conversations, even if it's just, like, if you're checking me out at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Just to not imagine people as just, like, just the Starbucks barista.
Yeah.
Like, everyone has more going on.
Yeah. Like see the human behind them.
Yeah. Like, and Davis has talked about it on this before. It's like, on my way home from the gym tonight, I was in rush hour. And I was like, I'm in a line of 1,000 cars. And everyone is having the same thought right now. It's like, just get me home. Get me the fuck out of this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they all have some other shit going on. And just, like, the humanity with everything. And it sucks. But, like, I've come to the realization that, like, your job, no matter what it is, and, like, how I'm interviewing with this new job, like, your job is just your job. And it doesn't define you. And I think a lot of people really struggle with that. And to, like, what I was talking about earlier with how everyone, like, in an ideal world, everyone would be an entrepreneur and everyone would have their own business. I don't think that would ever be the case. Not everyone has it in them. I'm not saying that I'm perfect or anything like that. But I am coming to learn more that, like, everyone has that little thing for them, no matter what it is. And where I want to take this and that I'm, like, piecing together is that maybe this could be the end all. And, like, with, like, I don't believe in the formal education system anymore. And maybe not that I can be the one that fixes it or anything, but maybe I can be a part of that solution.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't know. It's tough because, like, I always want to do this and I want everyone on it. But then, like, when you have your group text and everyone, like, I don't know anyone that fucking loves what they do.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. Okay, so what's your dream job?
I don't know.
What's your dream life?
I don't like it.
You can, like, reverse engineer your dream job, kind of.
Like, if everyone got paid the same and, like, if being a Schnucks bagger could get you the same life as being a pediatrician,
yeah,
like, I would work in an auto body shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, I'd fix cars, I'd work on cars, I'd do something with my hands, be a carpenter, be a welder, or something like that.
Yeah.
But I know the life I want to live and the money that it takes.
Yeah.
I don't always want to bring back to money, but nothing in life is free. And, like, what we were just talking about, these trips, like,
yeah,
working in an auto body shop isn't going to get me to Belize.
But if you own a few body shops, right, then maybe.
I think it'd be really cool for this to be a platform for other people to show that there's more out there and there's more to everything. And it's okay to explore other things. Like, just... And, like, it really pisses me off when people are just, like, so stressed out about their job. And it's like, dude, I got to get this fucking done. It's like, dude, like... And it really fucked me up. I had a buddy that passed away recently.
Oh, man, sorry to hear that.
Like, Spencer Staff. This is actually in remembrance of him. Because someone we love is in heaven, there's a little bit of heaven in our hearts. He was the president of our fraternity, the greatest dude. Rest in peace, Spencer. He passed 2 days after we got engaged.
Oh.
So that was a whirlwind of a weekend. And he was at the engagement party.
He was at the engagement party?
And
how did he die?
Like a freak heart attack.
Jeez.
He's our age. Like, He's not an alcoholic, not obese, doesn't do drugs. He's the president of fraternity, like, and he was in data security, like, epitome of a kid. And he said it to Jim at the engagement party. They were talking about work and stuff, and someone said their job sucked, and he was like, "That's the thing. Like, if you hate your job, you gotta get out of it because you don't know when it's gonna be your last day." Mm-hmm. And then 2 days later, we found out he passed. Jeez. And that fucked all of us up. And I hope, I'm sorry that this got really deep for anyone listening, but I hope that people can learn and come to realize that your job is not who you are. And that, like, when you talk to people, there is more to everything. And, like, maybe whatever your passion is, welding, horses, woodworking,
my dream job,
raising chickens, whatever, like, maybe it's okay to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I think also to add to that is when you walk through life knowing it's like fragile.
Yeah.
When you understand that every day could truly, really, genuinely be your last,
mm-hmm.
little things don't bother you.
Right.
You know,
mm-hmm.
Oh, someone didn't call me for Thanksgiving. Whatever. It's like they were probably busy.
Right.
They're probably doing something, and so it's like it comes to, like, you, like, very naturally go to assuming positive intent,
mm-hmm.
because you understand that, holy shit, like, let's just this isn't true, but I got in a fight with my mom yesterday and we're not talking, and that happens on Sunday. You don't talk on Monday. Something happens to her on Tuesday.
Right.
And you're like,
that's the last interaction.
I never got to tell her.
Right.
Know? Like, to me, that fucks me up, dude. And it's I'm really sorry that it happened to you, because I can't imagine. The thought of it fucks me up. You, like, experienced it, so it's super valid. My dream job would surely be to be like the Anthony Bourdain of horses.
That's awesome.
I am, like, pretty sure that would be.
How so?
My favorite thing.
Like going from stable to stable across the world?
Yeah. Just, like, riding different horses and, like, learning about different horse cultures.
Who is it? It's dude, some guitarist who has, like, a very notable horse ranch in South America. Lenny Kravitz.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He has, like, he had, like, what we're talking about. He had, like, a coming to Jesus moment. And I think it's in South America. Maybe it's in Mexico. Maybe it's in just, like, New Mexico. I think it's in South America. Maybe it's in Mexico. But he has this, like, 600-acre farm, and it's all dedicated to, like, saving horses.
Damn, that's sick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, cool. That's, on a positive note, I have something written down here. I think about you almost every day.
Oh,
because
I'm your Roman Empire.
Exactly. Somehow in this fucking real estate world, I got added to a mailing list that's horseproperties.net, and I get an email. It's like, like a Chesterfield email blast of, like, single family homes that are for sale.
Yeah,
but it's nationwide equestrian properties that are for sale.
Whoa,
dude! And I'll just pull it up. Like,
genius! I should do that. I should just make it better.
These properties are the most pristine things I've ever seen, and, like, literally horseproperties.net. Dude, like, I got one
Horse
today.
Farms in December.
Yeah, 9:36 a.m., November 9th, November 2nd, October.
Click going.
And, like, I delete half of them.
Look at that shit.
Yeah, dude, they're gorgeous. Look at these things. Oh,
shit. They're not even that expensive, honestly. Like,
no, and I get them. I delete.
Wait, go. Let's find a property.
Like, I delete most of them, but I get one probably every day, every other day. Look at these things, man. They're crazy.
How much is this going for?
1.3, 1.4.
1.4 mil?
40 acres, 4 beds, 2 baths.
It's not that bad.
That's not that bad.
I mean, 40 it's acres in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
I mean, look at what you get.
But you get a fuck ton. Now, go to one in, I don't know, just go to Colorado or something.
And, like, I don't get them just for St. Louis. I get them for literally the entire country. Look at that thing. You get 20 acres in that house, a 6-bed, 8-bath house, 7,100 square feet, and 20 acres in Georgia for $1.4 million. Like, that's like a really good deal.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to me like it's super crazy.
What'd you say, Colorado?
Yeah, check Colorado. And then I want to look at my hometown.
5 million, 7.
Oh, dude, look up Jackson Hole.
Oh, yeah, it's probably out the ass.
Do you remember when we used to do this as SDRs?
Yeah.
We were like literally, beep, and then,
this is Jack Baldo. Hang up. All right, back to the houses.
Yeah, dog. We got the, okay. Sorry, Chris, it cut off.
Yeah. This is only 8 acres. 15 acres for $3 million.
Wow, that doesn't actually seem...
70 acres for not even $1 million. That's pretty good. But it's like, it's Wyoming. It'd be the fucking middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's true.
My dad he's subscribed. He's obsessed with land. He gets Land Magazine every month. And Land Magazine's like the, I don't know, like the bougie ass, like properties that like Bill Gates would buy.
Go to Aspen, Colorado. And then?
Like these properties are like, 10,000 acres in like northern New Mexico for like $6 million.
Oh,
or it'll be like 6,000 acres in Wyoming for like $40 million.
Well,
it's like these, but he's like, I want to see what this shit is.
Yeah.
Because it's like the top tier listings of like, billionaires that are just like offloading their property or whatever.
Totally.
What'd you say?
Colorado.
I don't know. Can we go by state or? Oh, yeah, we can't go by city.
Oh, can you? What about here? You can't like type in the location.
What'd you say, Aspen?
Yeah.
There you go. Fuck me.
20. That's tiny compared to the other ones we've seen.
And it's only 5 acres.
Only 5 acres.
50 acres. There you go. Yeah, but dude, I see these every day, and
now go to El Paso. This is sick.
It's just like a little like getaway from my everyday job. Whenever I get these emails, I'm like, "Fuck yeah, let's see what's out there."
Texas.
You gonna do El Paso?
Yeah.
El Paso, Illinois. How about that?
I haven't been actually, bro. I went to Gideon, Missouri.
Did you?
Yeah.
Knock it off your bucket list?
Yeah, knocked it off my bucket list finally. That shit was fun.
There you go. 50 acres for $6.2 million.
Yeah, that's crazy. Kind of give you horse farm.
There you go. It's kind of affordable. 4.5 acres for $385.
Yeah, that seems. Vinton Road. Yeah, wrong side of town. Also, this wrong side of town. Super wrong side of town. Definitely wrong side of town.
That's sweet.
These are all. None of these are good. None of these are in like a good spot. Dang. So I'll have to wait. This is the only one. I feel like I know this one, but it's way too expensive.
You know where that is?
Nah. No idea. But it looks familiar.
Yeah, man. I don't know. The podcast is fun. I hope it turns into something.
Yeah, I wonder how it's so hard. It's like so I like think about it. It is just it's hard to get there, and it's hard to like feel like you can do it. Like, could you without feeling like a fraud? I do believe certainly that you could get $1,500 tomorrow.
That'd be sick.
Genuinely, I believe that with the amount of content you're putting out, even if it's not getting tons of views or if it's not, just like being consistent with content is enough for a lot of brands.
That's good to hear. Thank you.
That's
something that something else I've learned.
But doing it will be a lot harder. Like actually be like, all right, like turning the page and saying, all right, let's fucking go do it.
Right. Let's find something.
Because you're gonna get rejected
100 times. That's something I found out is I've always known that the entrepreneur route's for sure the end goal.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what, don't know how, don't know when.
Yeah, same.
But from this, I know that is for sure.
Just having I want to say the freedom of doing what you want, because I think the freedom is different. I think you're actually a little bit trapped in a lot of ways. You're trapped when you're an entrepreneur because you're trapped in your own responsibilities.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Because it's all on you.
Yeah, exactly. So in that way, it's like, being consistent. If you want to put out a podcast every Tuesday for the next 20 years, you have to record a podcast every week for the next 20 years.
Because no matter what, I have to use my time.
Yeah, it's fucking hard.
I think it'd be cool though. If this is somehow this translates into it. I don't know how. But like, let's just for conversation's sake, like if this is paying me $1 million a year.
Oh wow, yeah.
I think it'd be really cool. And like that, like yeah, sure, you should call it end goal, whatever. If I'm getting paid $1 million a year, I can call up my buddy and be like, yo, I will pay you $100,000 a year to be like my business manager. And then I can call up my other buddy, hey, I'm going to pay you $100,000 a year to be like, find us deals and investments. And like, you're in-house, you're my guy. And you're like, you know, that I'm getting paid $1 million a year. I'm taking home 100, but I'm paying 9 guys 100. And it's just like my boys. And like, I'm setting my other people up in my circle to get them out of whatever they're doing and to set them up for what they would want to do.
Dude, yeah, that'd be sick. If one homie makes it, everybody does kind of mentality.
Yeah.
I think
and then I buy the Browns or the Cardinals or something.
Take a rat out of what's that guy? Dan Gilbert's backyard. I think you would. I think if you, dude, it's really easy to think that big, but can you imagine just making $10,000 off this?
No. Like, shit a chicken.
I think that in itself would be a huge accomplishment.
Oh, for sure.
To
make $1,500 would be an accomplishment.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I really want to figure out how to make some money off of this bitch. I just don't know how. And I honestly don't know how to ask because I'm also a little bit nervous. And it's also like,
it's like the imposter syndrome. It's like, who am I to ask?
Yeah. I'm just a little guy.
Right.
We're here with my little podcast. But I don't know. It's tough.
That's also like what I love about it is I don't know. And like that's something that like personally like I learned whether it's through this or on my own accord, I do learn something new every day. And like I'm constantly learning about whether it's shit that's actually applicable to life or not. I learn something new every day. And with this, with what we're talking about, there is so much to learn.
Dude.
With how this, like incorporating as a business, I have nowhere. I got to watch 4 YouTube videos on how to LLC this thing. I have no clue how to fucking do that. I have no clue how to write off stuff for taxes. I have no idea how to go and get a sponsor. I have no idea how to go and hire somebody. Like all of that is a learning process, and I am on step 1 of 1,000.
Yeah, but you've started.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like going to the gym. You know, it doesn't matter if you run a mile or if you run 5 or if you lift 20-pound weights or if you lift 200-pound weights. Like you're beating the person on the couch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just the very fact that you're there and you're doing something about it, like slow and steady wins the race, dog.
Yeah. And shit, we've made it. You've made it to episode 31, probably
episode
32.
31. I'm working on scheduling 32, which is why I stumbled through that answer.
I think this will be episode 16 or 17. I don't know what I'm at.
I'd say, but your episodes are long. You reminded me of something when you were talking about content again just now, and the reason I do this and the reason I do LinkedIn and the reason I do all those things is because I have this framework of how I make decisions.
Okay.
And basically, if it is a low risk, high reward activity, I'll do it 90% of the time. Putting content out is a low risk, high reward activity.
It's zero risk.
You know, it's super low barrier to entry. It's easy. Everybody can do it. No, but very few people can keep going.
That's the thing, is the consistency.
And so
that's what I've really struggled with.
Just beat the next guy. Yeah, that's why we're going to be a podcast Villa Buddies now.
Exactly.
There's a business there somewhere. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so, but the reverse is true as well. If it's a high risk, low reward activity, I won't do it 90% of the time.
I'm with you.
If it's like, you know, the joke is only do one illegal thing at once.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Only get one ticket at a time.
Yeah, like you don't want to get caught for drinking and driving, and then also, you know, I don't know. that
speeding as well.
Speeding, yeah. The point is, if you're going to be drunk, which is kind of illegal, it's illegal to drive, you shouldn't drive. how do I say it? What's the right synonym here, or like example? It's like, if you're gonna drive drunk, don't drive with a headlight out.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the right way.
Yeah, sure.
You know,
we're not encouraging driving drunk.
No,
yeah,
exactly. But if you're gonna do something illegal, like,
or if you're gonna drive with a headlight out, don't drive drunk.
Exactly, that's a better way to put it.
In all my notebooks, something I write on like every page is no risk, no story.
Yeah,
and something that I talked about in one of the previous episodes with Blake, Bo, and Tom. Was like I've said that like I treat this as like a garage band because like our parents' generation, like everyone had a garage band, and sure none of them made it, but every band that's notable started as a garage band.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you, I'll give you another reason why podcasting is absolutely amazing, and actually this is an actual business we could start.
I'm listening.
And here's the idea. This podcast will live forever.
True.
And so when we have kids, they're going to get to listen to their old man.
Yep.
Talk
30
in
years
real
ago.
time.
Yeah.
December 7th, when I'm 28. When I'm 28, they're going to listen to what I was thinking, who I was talking to, how I communicated, the things I was into, what I was looking forward to. It's encoded memories that last hours long. And so imagine, I can only imagine, it's such an easy sell. For Christmas, for your parents, you don't give them a new jacket from Lululemon that they've been wanting. Instead, you give them a curated Spotify playlist of their entire family talking about what they do, what they're excited about, who they are today. You know, and give that to your grandparents, you give that to your parents. And that becomes like a family hand-me-down. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, all of a sudden, you get to know your cousins a lot better. And that lives forever. And so future generations, way down the line, 2 or 3 generations after us, they'll get to listen to us talk.
Because I don't have one recording of my grandpa that I can go and listen to.
Sometimes I go through my voicemails and I think actively. I'm like, wow, you know, like if you have a voicemail of your grandma, or if you have a voicemail of your boy who just passed, like it hits different.
For sure.
You hear their voice again and you're like, holy shit, like it hits. And that feeling, the feeling we're feeling this very second, thinking about that, I think is something that a lot of people would feel when they receive the gift of story.
I like that.
Right?
Gift of story, yeah.
And so it's like, I don't know. Why the fuck not? And I bet really rich people would pay a lot of money for that.
That's
And it wouldn't take very long.
We at my mom's house for Thanksgiving, she has a book that she started it a couple years ago, maybe in like 2018, 2019. And it's like, you know, like a landscape style book, and on each page there's 4 entries and you put your name on it and you write 3 or maybe 4 things you're grateful for that year. And so this year when we signed it, we were able to flip back through it and every year see what everyone wrote at that given time. So it's almost like that same thing.
Yeah.
And I've actually had the thought before, I don't know if I could personally do it. I think there's a realm for someone to do it. But I've had the idea because Britt's best friend is her grandma. And every year on her birthday, her grandma calls her. She doesn't answer, just so that her grandma has to leave a voice message for Britt, and she sings Britt happy birthday, and it gets Britt every time.
Does the grandma know that's why it's happening?
I don't know, but for that same thing, so her grandma was not put in a home, but she moved to like an assisted living kind of a thing a couple years ago, and all of those people, you know, are there, whether it's a year, 10 years, they're there. And I don't know if I could do it, but someone could do it. There's a realm for someone in some shape or form to take this into those homes and do this with every person in there. And let alone, the stories and what you can learn from people with those experiences, because you know you're going to have a Vietnam vet, a World War II vet, someone that was in the Peace Corps, someone that was in an MLK march, something. There's someone did something with all that. And let alone from what you could learn and what you could hear, to have that, like, let's say, if exactly what we were talking about, you go and interview that person, Joe Schmo, that was in an MLK march. You interview him. You have this 2-hour interview with him. He passes the next day. Their family now has that full-length interview of all of his stories forever.
Yeah.
Which would be a really heavy conversation. And, like, I don't know if I have that in me. I don't know if I can talk to people of that caliber.
Yeah, that'd be really hard.
Yeah. But I feel like there's for what you're talking about, in some way, in some form, someone could be able to do that.
Yeah. I only
with the technology that we have.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
I know the value of this personally doesn't have a price. My grandfather wrote a book, like about his life and like his story from, kid in Poland to prisoner in the gulag to Holocaust survivor. You know what I'm saying? Like, like fucking crazy story. And he has a book, and I like, you read it when you're an adult in the Kotkowski family.
Mm-hmm. Like a coming of age kind of a book.
Yeah, and I feel very attached to my last name because of that.
Good.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so imagine. Yeah, just imagine.
Is he still alive?
No.
So you would never be able to hear that story then?
Right, if it wasn't for that book, that I can relive that story and I can be like grateful again and again and again. But yeah, exactly. So anyway, I think that these podcasts the value from them is the fact that they last forever. It's also it's also kind of scary.
You could fuck yourself over.
Oops. Don't say the N-word on that.
Yeah, exactly. Oopsies.
Also, you don't know what the fuck you're saying today will be PC or not in 50 years.
I don't give a fuck.
Or 20 years or 10 years or whatever. So, whatever. So,
how do you feel about podcasting going in the future versus like micro content with TikTok versus YouTube versus where Instagram's going? Where do you place podcasts with that? How do you see a podcast as a level of importance?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure podcasting will be bigger than it is today.
Yeah, I agree.
I think if you invest in podcasting, it could still be like a 10xer. I think it's still got that in it.
That's one of the business ideas I've had with this I've said it to my buddies. I think it'd be really cool. And like what I like envision is one day buying back to like the education thing. I don't believe in the current education system. To buy a school, an old school, and turn it into like Jote Studios kind of a thing.
Nice.
And like have it be like a co-working / cohort / like maybe if college isn't the right way, you can come in like one classroom be the podcasting room, one classroom be like the photography studio, one classroom be the music studio, one classroom be the coding studio, one classroom be whatever you may have it, and like keep the library as like an homage to like continued education and all that shit. And to have it be like a campus of education, but not in the form of like a college thing.
Dude, that'd be sick. Wow.
That's like a big time dream.
Yeah.
But like at the same
sounds like
and then like, like the auditorium or whatever, or like the concert hall in like a grade school or like a middle school.
But like what's stopping you from doing that right now? I'm sure
sponsorship money. And like to have like the auditorium be like I would have like a live show in there.
Do you think people would pay for that?
I don't know. It's just like then like when you talk
this
about
is just like your dream,
right? And then like you start talking about like logistics and like business aspects. Like I have no idea.
I just want this to happen.
What the pay structure would be and all that shit.
What would have to happen is you become a billionaire and you can spend $1 million
exactly.
on this a year,
and I can lose $10 million a year.
No, I'm kidding. I think if I'm sure there's a way to make it work.
I have no.
I'm just messing
riddle
around.
me that in which way it would work, but.
No, that's funny, dude. My my dream like that is like one day I'll be mayor of El Paso.
I'll fix it all.
Yeah, I just really want to be mayor of El Paso. Like, I don't know, call me crazy. It feels like a funny thing to have on my resume. Like,
back to the horse race.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it, why not try and win?
Yeah, exactly.
If you're gonna try, fucking go for it.
Yeah, totally. Couldn't agree more. But yeah, it's like funny. You know, you think about these things. It's like, I don't know if they'll happen, but I don't know what needs to happen.
We'll find out. 20 years, we'll find out. In 20 years, we'll listen to this again.
Dude, that's another thing I think about. How experience compounds, right? Like, I think oftentimes we rush ourselves. I've been feeling really impatient lately in my career and like trajectory. I like thought when I was younger that by 28 I'd feel more financially secure. I'd feel like I've done something with my life because the people that I had seen that were 28 that were founders and that were doing really cool things, like I was like, oh wow, that's sick. And so anyway, all that to say, like, in 20 years, like, look at all we've done in 20 years. We were you're 27?
About to be.
You're about to be 27. When's your birthday?
December 27th, 20 days.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so, like, 20 years ago, you're just little kids.
I mean, you think about, like, for the year you graduated high school.
Yeah.
Think about how much of a piece of shit you were then.
Yeah.
To now.
Yeah, from middle school. So, in 20 years, we'll be 58 or whatever, 57, right? Or 47, 40. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 48.
48, 47.
And that's not even how old our parents are.
That's not even how old our parents are.
That's crazy.
They got another 20 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's fucking nuts.
And so, like, yeah, imagine doing this.
And so I'll for sure be rich by then.
We gotta be, right? Like, we gotta be.
If we keep doing what we're doing,
dude, we have to.
Right? That's how I think about it.
If I podcast for 20 fucking years, I'd hope that I'm successful.
Dude, there's no way. Would you keep going? I don't know. After 20 years, just keep
like, what's podcasting going to be in 20 years?
Yeah, fair. Super fair. But actually, I think the biggest value from doing these podcasts for us is the network we're building. And like,
oh, yeah.
Like the people you get to know, and like all of a sudden you see them on the street and you're like, oh, what's up, dude? Oh, how do you know? Oh, I was on this podcast. Or for me, it's like people I would never really talk to, but now I see them and we know each other because I know them, because I asked them an hour worth of questions about themselves.
For sure.
All of a sudden, you know, and these are people like you can hit up for a favor anytime.
I'll speak to that for sure. I've only had so many people. This will be episode 15 or 16, but I've only had maybe 10 or 11 guests. You're round 2. Andy was round 2. David's been on twice.
You gotta expand to people you don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's hard though.
It is hard. And I have those people on here, and I've talked to those people about it. You know, like, I know them, but I've never talked to them for more than 10 minutes. But every single person, let alone how well I knew them, after they come in here and I talk to them, our friendship is like immediately, dude. It is like maybe level 2, level 3, level 5. It is immediately on like level 15.
Yeah,
like that. The connection that we have after people are in here, it is light years from just a 2-hour conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the conversations you have in person all the time are so much more in depth.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree more. Dude, that's exactly what I think the value of these podcasts are is that network. It's much less. I mean, yeah, if we get sponsors, that'd be sick. I want to be able to, you know, it's like, oh, if you never know where your next job is gonna come from, or you never know where your next opportunity is gonna get to, or what idea you're gonna have with someone, or yeah, I don't know. And I think you and I are big believers of that, like, yeah, because I think inherently believe everybody has a story, and perhaps we share that, like, value and curiosity.
Sure.
Is I think that, like, people like that. I think people it's a huge attribute, and I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm with you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I rounded that story out completely, but being curious and learning about what other people do is a surefire way to make friends.
I'll have to.
It's like so easy, actually. It's all it is.
Ask them questions. I'll have to show you my notebook after this and like the fucking shit that I write. But something else that I write almost on every single page is like the 3 C's that I live by is confidence, consistency, and curiosity.
Those are good ones.
If every day you're confident, you're curious, and you're consistent, something's probably going to work out for you.
Right. You just have to be there when the right opportunity is in front of you, when the stars align. We were talking about this earlier. When you feel ready for that thing to happen, but you have to prepare for that. And you can only do it by starting these little things. I was just having this conversation with a friend. It's like we were talking about when I was in college, we did this thing called InFeed. And basically it was, we used a certain kind of insect called the black soldier fly.
We talked about this.
Yeah, we talked about this. That converts itself into protein.
Yeah.
And so recently we've been talking about bringing that shit back and making it into dog treats.
Oh,
or cat treats in this case. And making it just like the most sustainable cat treats in the world, or the most sustainable dog treat. Or maybe it's just chicken treats or whatever. I don't know. Haven't really gone that far. And he's like, oh, well, we have to plan. We have to process. And I'm like, dude, all I know is that this isn't going to be my next $1 million business. There's no harm in starting.
Right.
And maybe it does become $1 million business, but you won't know unless you start.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, shit, people really like this. Oh, holy shit, I just made $200 this day.
Right.
You know? Whoa, $2,500 this month. If I can make $5K a month with this, I can quit my job, go full time, double down.
Bingo.
But you won't know if there's traction with your idea. Mm-hmm. Everybody talks about like customer discovery. You have to do customer discovery. Ask if there's a problem, right? Basically, I think you can do customer discovery through like launching. You launch and then you get feedback, immediate feedback of, oh, this is cool. Oh, actually, no one's buying it, or people are interested, or people are not interested. And then you can build off that. What didn't you like about the product? What did you like about the product? Oh, you like this, but you didn't like this. Okay.
Because if you only focus on build out and the strategy and everything, you're never going to know.
Yeah, exactly. The best feedback is the one that when they're like, when they're doing something, Anyway.
That's to the point of us doing these podcasts. That's something that I've talked about on another one. Was you got to have a plan. Like have a plan. It doesn't have to be incredibly detailed, but like what you're talking about, like, okay, we made it. Okay, what's step B?
Yeah.
We get it in people's hands. Okay, what's step C? We have a point of payment system. Okay, what's step D? We figure out how to ship it.
Yeah.
Like have a plan, but no matter what you're doing, you gotta fucking try.
Yeah.
Because you never know. You never know what's gonna happen. And like with this stuff, like, yeah, I've got, 20, 30, 50, 100 listeners, whatever. The guys, Blake, Bo, and Tom, I was doing the clips for them the other day. And like they said the number, they were at like 25,000 subscribers or something on YouTube.
Whoa.
And now they're at like, I think they just hit 60 or 65,000.
Whoa.
And I was like, dude, they're fucking doing it. Like they're going for it. They're all in. Like they have a video or two every week. They're editing hard. And
it almost feels like you discovered them first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like they have a plan, but like they don't. Like they're just like, yo, let's just go play basketball. We'll make a video. We'll fucking figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. It'll come.
Mm-hmm.
The plan will come.
Go ahead first, dude. Cold plunge the shit out of whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Mood follows action.
Yep.
And I think the same is true for like money. Money follows action.
Yeah.
It doesn't do any other than that. Like it follows action, period.
Mm-hmm.
You're not moving, you're not making money. I believe that.
There's a saying for that. It's I don't know. I'm not even coming up with it. This was good, man.
Yeah, this has been good.
You want to call it?
Let's call it. I'm getting a little tired.
We're at 2:18.
2:18. Yeah. And we didn't even talk about when you're going to come visit Denver.
No. We'll talk about that, though.
Offline.
I'll be out there. When do you move?
So December 17th or 16th.
I have a ski trip in January.
Oh, nice. We'll be out there.
Beaver.
Are you Epic or Icon?
Icon.
Oh. Damn it. Everybody's doing Icon.
We did last year. We were in Breck, which was...
I did Epic. Apparently my friends were doing Epic this year. So I went with Epic, and now I'm stuck with Epic because... But all my other... These are like my El Paso friends. All my other friends, everybody else that I know that I can hang out with, they're all doing Icon. So I was like, fuck.
Yeah. I mean, dude, shit's so expensive.
Yeah, I know. You just fucking drop $800 and you're like...
For fucking... Like, for me,
thinking about it, dude, I have to go out there 16 times. Mm-hmm. And even then, it's expensive. $50 a day.
Yeah, like my Icon pass is going to be like $600. I'm skiing for 3 days.
Right. And you're like, what?
What am I doing? What am I doing?
Is it worth? And then you're out there, and if it's a bad day, you're not actually enjoying it all that much.
And then I got.
And you're cold. And
I got to get rentals.
Yeah, dude. Fuck that.
Whatever.
Anyway, all right, brother.
Grateful to be there. Thanks, man.
Thank you for hosting.
Love you, brother.
I appreciate it. I feel like the first part of this was like a giant ad for like 4 different people.
Good. I hope it is, man. I want to put people on.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.